Last time on Scum and Villainy, the crew took their leave of Riom to prepare the ship for departure. Their examination of a recent droid purchase was interrupted by the sounds of gunfire. As they charged down the landing ramp, they discovered the droid IT-3PO being abducted by a gang of Rhodians. Actually, make this active. Moving you guys. There we go. Moving all of you to the map. I've already got the combat map up. I'm not going to start combat just yet. So let me describe what you guys see. As you charge down the ramp of the Rabid Rancor and move into the area. Screen, there we go. You spot on the ground 2 unconscious human guards. They're out cold. Not sure if they're stunned, they're dead, they're just flat on the ground. They're both wearing paramilitary uniforms. Of course, the GM can't talk. That's going to make it more difficult. They're both wearing paramilitary uniforms. They're not wheel security. The uniforms seem to match what you've seen at Isotech, so probably belong to Riom. A few meters away, you see a group of 5 Rhodians. Actually, I forgot to put one on the map. Let me grab him. One of them looks very familiar, Marcus. You see a group of 5 Rhodians tossing a disabled protocol droid that matches the description of the one that Riom said was coming with you onto a hover truck, which is not much of a truck considering it's just, you're physically in a space station, but it's still a powered grav sled. The Rhodians are waving blaster pistols in your general direction and start just popping off rounds toward you. They pile on the back of the grav sled and head off into the station. So I'm going to, just so we have it, though we're not in combat yet, I'm going to open up the combat tracker, get that going. You guys want to go ahead and roll for initiative? I got to put you in the combat tracker first, don't I? There you go. You open up the little fist icon, you'll see the roll for initiative, and you can roll for your initiative there on the right-hand side. Here comes Roxy in.
And we can choose vigilance or cool, right? That's how it works.
Yes, in this case, it would probably be more vigilance than cool, but it's your choice.
Gotcha.
Ooh. Turn rolling. Let me get my groups. Roll. And then I'll do this. And where's my puppet? I always forget where this one's at. I have a popcorn initiative on my side that makes it a little easier for me to run things. Secret doors, that's not looking for. Where's my popcorn initiative? I hate when I lose things in this tabletop. There's sound. It's not day or night. Popcorn initiative not running. That's going to be annoying. There it is. I'm just blind. What you guys can't see on my screen the first time you watch one of the recordings, you'll be able to see it. I have a popcorn initiative tracker. It's really not for this system, but it works great for this system because where you guys don't necessarily act in order like you do in say 5e. It helps me keep track of it. So okay, like once shock goes, I mark shock off the list and it refreshes as we go through. Okay, and let me start combat so we don't forget that. There we go. Okay, because I'm really good about forgetting that. Who's the neutral? Oh, he's disabled, so I'm not worried about him. So, as you come charging down the ramp there, screen pop out. Come on. There we go. Too many things popping out here. There we go. So they begin just shooting in your general direction, uh, popping shots off as the grav sled pulls away, and they quickly get beyond the bay doors. So that's kind of why I've got the item tracker map up here for you. That's more to show how far away from you they are. There we go. So
Of
they,
the can I ask a quick
yeah,
question?
sure.
Of the three hostiles that are around the droid, the two
Hmm.
that are flanking him, they have hands on him, or they just
There's actually a total of 5 Rhodians. Each one of those are groups of 2 that you see,
okay?
except
Okay,
for the one looks slightly
gotcha.
different. Uh,
Yeah.
2 of them are actually on the back of the truck, pulling the droid up on the truck and securing him to the grav sled. The other 2 are currently standing at the back of the truck, firing toward you. The one that's at the front of the truck in the in the driver's seat, uh, I want Yitram and not Yitram, Shock and Roxy to make a quick perception check at 1 with a bonus. 1 purple with a bonus. In other words, a very easy check. Oh my God, Roxy, you failed that, really? Come on, Shock. Shock for the win here.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I'm having trouble with my difficulty. It keeps going up, but I can't get it to go down.
Blue?
Try right click.
Oh, it's right click. Sorry.
That's okay.
Okay, so one
That's
difficulty, and you
one
said what was the other?
one bonus, 1 blue.
One blue.
1
Test,
purple, 1
test.
blue. I hear you there, Yitram.
Can you guys hear me? Oh man, my mic has not been working for like a bit. Discord's been weird for me.
Okay. So
Yeah, I just thought you were being sullen, not talking.
Yeah, no, I don't know. My Discord's been messing up for a bit. Sorry.
wow, that's okay. No problem. So, Roxy, maybe it's because his back's to you and you don't recognize him. Shock, you recognize him. This is the guy Roxy was playing cards with.
Oh, that Roxy schooled, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. One that wanted to win his money back.
Um. Yeah, Shock's gonna give a little roar about that, and his translator droid will say, "It's your card partner. They are in the front of the cab."
So the
Well, he's dead.
love it. So the once they're all aboard there, and the guys, the hostiles, are the first 2 to go in this combat round. So I'm going to drop both the first one in there, our group in there. They finish loading the droid on board. The second group pops off a shot in your all's direction. I'm not even going to roll the shot because they're not so much aiming for you, just aim in that general direction. Actually, I will roll it. Who am I kidding? Of course I'm.
Suppressive fire.
Yeah, they're not only aiming at you, but let's see how well they do. Equipment, blaster pistol. There we go. Where did it? Come on. Oh, that's the equipped. It wasn't equipped. There we go. I'm only going to give them a difficulty of 2 at this because they're just firing in your general direction, not trying to hit anybody. Oh, crap. Now, how do I rule that? They fail to, but they do it with advantage. Okay, so they fail to hit any of you, which they were really trying to hit you. So that's their failure. What they do manage to do is they hit the controls for the bay door, and the bay door starts slowly dropping as they're exiting.
Hmm.
And as
Now
they
the bay door is between them and us, correct?
correct. I'm talking
Okay.
about the entry going back into the station itself, the main entry
Right.
door, which is like a truck sized door to move cargo and things like that through. They jump on the truck, and the truck starts moving away, which they can't do that on this turn. Be their next one. So the Yar clan member has acted, and the other one has acted. They're good to go, so that takes care of that. The other guy's in the cab. So let's see. On combat tracker, Means it's one of your all's turn. What are you guys doing in response?
So, what would we have to do to disable the truck? What kind of shot or weapon would it take to do that?
Uh,
Would the bowcaster
the
be necessary,
bowcaster,
or would any?
any would probably do it. It's not like it's an armored truck or anything like that. It's not that complicated. It's basically a flatbed pickup truck, is what it amounts to. That's been designed to work within the station's confines. It's just a land speeder for all intents and purposes. And as they begin to move away from it or from you, it would be a. Let me pull up the stats on it just to see. Okay, it's got a silhouette 2. So it would be a 2 difficulty shot for you. So it's larger than you, so it'd be a 1 difficulty shot. When you're dealing with vehicles, it gets a little different here. So if someone wants to try to shoot it, it'd be a 1 purple, and then a setback for a black because that door is starting to come down and close behind them, and they're moving away from you.
So that's my second question. Based on how fast the blast doors are closing or the bay doors are closing, how many turns would that take? Is it going to be done by next turn, or do we have a few turns before it's
You have
down?
you have 1 turn, so not this turn, but by the end of next turn, it will be closed.
So probably our first priority ought to be to keep that open, right? To have somebody.
That would be
reverse
my
the-
suggestion, but that's up to you
Yeah.
all.
Yeah. Who's the fastest to get it, or in terms of movement, or maybe most knowledgeable in terms if they have to do a skill check to work the electronics? Is that Roxy, or is that?
Depends whether it's mechanics or computers, really, I think.
The panel
Which could be either.
Yeah, it could be either. The panel they hit was the physical mechanical panel that they shot They shot in a.
Hello?
There you are.
Geez, it keeps cutting out again.
That's weird. Try switching yourself to push to talk. I have had that problem in the past.
Yeah.
That way you can turn it on and off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, all I did was ask if there were any other vehicles nearby. Maybe I could pilot it and wedge it to stop the door.
There's no vehicles, but there are crates.
Oh, well, we learned every time I've tried to do something physical, I can't move things more than like 5 pounds.
Well, what we could do, Shock could try to shove some crates under it if somebody else could take a shot at trying to actually stop the controls and, either freeze it or reverse it.
Let's try that. I can take a shot and then I have to run downstairs for formation. So
Okay. So we'll let
And you got 2 friendly moves in a row. So each of them would be 1 purple and 1 black. The setback to try to shoot their thing. Now it's going to get worse
sounds good.
as they start moving. But
So 1 setback, 1 purple.
yeah, 1 black, 1 purple.
I'm a pilot. Makes sense. I would know where to shoot.
Yep, that it would.
And
Oh,
well,
he apparently doesn't know that's.
I would wait. 5 advantage. Hold up. There's got to be some way I can spend that.
Hold on. Okay, yeah. Let's see.
That is so much advantage.
Yeah, that is so much. Okay, here we go. So let's see if you agree with it. What I'm thinking is maybe you hit a control structure or something on it so that it's not operating properly now.
Slowing it down, maybe?
Slowing it down some way.
Yeah, because I'm looking at the advantage triumph chart you have in here,
Mhm.
and there's a lot of things that would work, like disabling things, but where I didn't actually hit it, I don't know if they would even be able to apply.
I got it. What if your blaster bolt ricocheted off the side of the thing, the something in the bay, hit the panel again and totally fried the door, causing it to stop?
Sure.
Okay. So Yitrim pulls out his blaster. You hear zing. You hear the ricochet going, and you guys are going, ah, crap. He can fly. He just can't shoot. And then you see the ricochet bounce a couple of times at odd angles, and then it slams into that same panel they hit, and you see it spark, and you hear the door grind to a stop about halfway open.
Ah, yes, just as I planned.
Perfect.
I'll be right back, guys.
All right.
Can't make it look too easy.
And that actually brings it to another one of you guys.
So Roxy, do you want to take the shot at disabling the truck, or do you want Shock to do it? I did upgrade
But
my ranged heavy skill. Well, with the last bit of experience points we have. So
I think your bowcaster's a bit more powerful. Yeah. So yeah, you shoot.
okay.
You shoot.
Awesome. So I will try to shoot to disable. Being, I guess, mechanic, I should at least know some basic place to hit it,
Yep.
tire, whatever. That would.
And
Yeah.
same thing applies to be 1 purple to hit it, but you now have 2 setback because that door is partially obscuring it because it's closing in, like it's a blast door, so it's closing in from all bottom to top, so it's a little bit more
All right.
obscured.
So, all right. So
Yeah.
1 difficulty and 2 setback.
Yeah, 1 difficulty, 2 setback. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so Marcus, let's hope your dice roll better than nobody else's. The so
yeah, we're not doing too great here.
so the shot slams into the door. I mean, it's lined up. You're lined up right, but you slam into the door because you only barely failed there with a failure of 1. Slams into the door and you hit, and the failure. The main failure came from the setback. You can see the 2 black failure icons
Oh,
there.
you know, I'm sorry. I think I clicked the wrong thing, by the way. Maybe I should re-roll that
You got
if
1.
you allow it. Well, it was my mistake. I think I hit range light instead
Oh,
of
you
ranged
did.
heavy.
You did. Tell you what, go
You
ahead and re-roll.
did.
You did re-roll that because I say
Okay.
your range
Yeah, I
heavy score was better than
apologize.
that. Don't worry about it. At least we
I know,
caught
I
it before
was
we
like, that
before we
doesn't
narrated.
seem like I ought to do better than that. Okay.
Yeah, you
let's
should
see
have done
here.
better than that.
All right, now I've got ranged heavy. Okay.
Okay, cool.
So 1 difficulty and 2
2
setback.
setback. Yeah.
Okay. Now we'll see.
Now we'll see. This fails again. Okay, there we go. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, that's a little more
Ooh.
like it.
Ooh,
A triumph.
a triumph.
I love it.
I'm loving that. Let's see here. How can we spend that triumph? What options do we have for you? Combat.
Make it crash.
That's an option.
Make it crash and throw some of the bad guys off of it and
Yeah, we could do
take them out of the
that.
fight
Okay.
for a turn or something
Yeah,
like
we
that.
can do that. Okay. So Shock stands up and shoulders his bowcaster. This is the first time he's actually fired it since all the modifications have been made to it. Pulls the trigger, slam. Trigger, it fires off. The coral, the energy coral slams through the door, hits right into the engine block, into the motivator of this grav sled. The grav sled just drops to the floor. I mean, there's no sputter and casually drop. It just thump on the floor. It goes skidding onto it and turns up partially up onto its side. So it turns up on its side, dumping everybody out of it and putting them behind it. So the way it is right now, you guys are still in the bay. That partially closed door. The grav sled is up on its side, and all of the Rhodians are on the back side of that grav sled. At the same time, well, we'll get to that in a minute. So that takes care of Shock. Okay. Move that to the next hostile. That's going to be Yar. Yeah, Yar. The Rhodian that was in the cab or at the controls, he clambers up, looks back at you all, starts shouting orders, and then pull his stats up here, equipment, pulls out a wicked-looking blaster and fires at you, Shock.
I am a big target, so that does make sense.
Well, yeah. You're also the one that just disabled the sled. They all missed.
Well, you know, but it's a toss-up, right? Because he's got the opponent who stole all his money in the card game, or the
Yeah,
Wookiee, you know, who just
exactly.
disabled his truck. How to choose?
Lots of reasons for him to want to shoot at you. Okay, now from you all, and I put you in the band, so I figured this is how it kind of end up. He is at. So I can put in the screen him the 50,000 other ones I have in my way. I'm going to close that one because I don't currently need that. And okay, he is at, what is that, medium? Yeah, he's 2, so he's a medium. So that's going to be 2 purple. at you. You're gonna give him a setback for the fact that he just wrecked, and jump back up. And then I'm going to burn a dark side point to upgrade the shot as he takes it at you. His bolt slams into you,
Okay.
doing, didn't roll, doing 7, yeah. Oh, doing 10 points of damage, Shock.
Okay. So part of that goes into my soak, right?
Right, so while your damage is handled, you take your soak, whatever that is, and subtract it from the
Subtract
damage.
that.
So
Okay.
what's your soak?
And then my soak is 6, so that would be 4 left over. Does that go into wounds or strain?
That would go into wounds.
Wounds. Okay, gotcha.
Yep. Which makes your wound what?
14.
14. Wow. You got hit hard.
Yeah, well, it was 18 previously. Yeah,
Right.
dropped it down to 14. So
Right. Yeah, I just pulled your
now
sheet.
the
So
soak
the-
comes back every turn, or that's gone. Once it's gone, it's gone.
the soak doesn't matter. You always have soak. That's your
You
armor
always
is
have
what it
soak.
amounts to. Yeah, that's
Gotcha.
your
Yeah.
armor is what
Okay.
it
That's
amounts
right.
to,
That's
or
right.
your
Okay.
physical brawn, to be able to soak up damage. So that never goes away.
Gotcha.
The only thing you got to worry about right now is you only got 4 until you go night-night.
Okay. Is it? Gotcha. What
Yeah.
is that? How does that threshold set? That's
The threshold is based off of your brawn and a couple of things on here. It's calculated based off of those things.
okay.
Which yours is probably the highest in the group. Let's see.
Yeah,
Each
so where
one
do I
has
see?
11.
Where do I get that number on my character sheet? Sorry.
Okay, if you double click on your sheet.
Yeah.
And you look on the sheet itself, you will see right across the top wounds, strain, soak, and defense.
Yep.
It's right there. Of course,
So I currently have 14 wounds. What you're saying is if I dropped it below 10, then I'm unconscious. Is that?
No. If your wound counts up.
Oh, it counts up.
It counts up.
So
yeah.
It doesn't. Oh, okay. So that I should go to.
Yeah. So
Now my new wound
you
is
took
22.
10. You took 10 total. Your
Yep.
soak is 6, at least 4. So your
Okay.
wound should be 4, not 14. Follow me?
I see. Oh, I see. Okay. And if
Yeah,
I
you count-
accumulate if I accumulate 18, I'm dead.
No, if you accumulate 18, you go unconscious.
Oh, okay.
Only way you're going to go dead is if you end up with a critical for it.
Gotcha. Okay. So I'm actually have 14
14
more
left.
to
Yeah.
accumulate. Okay.
Yeah.
Now it makes sense. So it's not like hit points that count down. You count
Yeah.
up until you hit your threshold. Okay.
Right. So let's change
All
that
right.
wounds to actually read 4 instead of 14, because that's what you
Yeah, I
carried
just
over.
did.
Yep.
Yeah,
see
I
it
just
just
did.
changed on my screen. And your strain would not be 8. It would be 0. Fix that for you. Well, actually, I know why you got them there. It would be 2 because you're in duress because of your thing.
Oh, I see. Oh, again, I was subtracting rather than counting
Right,
up.
yeah.
Okay,
And
so
that's-
2 is my current strain level. That
Yeah.
makes more sense, actually.
Yeah.
The more
And
strain you have, the worse off.
actually,
Yeah.
in this session, your strain threshold is 8, not 10.
Instead of 10.
Yeah.
Okay, so I need to change that too.
Just leave it, and we'll just work with the 2 that already
Oh,
on there.
okay.
That way we don't,
Alright.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because the next highest in your group for wounds is Roxy, believe it or not. Which, speaking of Roxy, it is Roxy's turn.
So Roxy, you may have to clear your nostrils of the smell of burnt fur from where that blaster just slammed into Shock.
Cinch dog.
Exactly.
Yeah. Can I move forward into the next range band and take cover behind a crate?
Sure. Go ahead and slide up there.
And I'll pop a shot off at the guy who's sticking his head up.
Okay. So, you have the guy you play cards with, or just one of the other guys?
I think all the other guys are behind, aren't they?
Yeah,
It's
they're
the
all
guy
behind.
who.
Yeah, Yav popped up and started firing.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, him.
Okay. So now you are now in medium. So it would be 1 purple to hit him. And he has partial cover behind that truck. So, and the screwed up door. So I'll give you one black. So 1 purple, 1 black. Or wait a minute, no, sorry, 2 purple. He's in medium range.
2 purple, 1 black.
Yep.
Let's go.
Oh,
Ooh.
but you got an advantage. Trying to figure out how I can spin that advantage to your all's effect here. Not enough to cause a crit, because one way you can spend advantage, you can spend advantage on, generating critical hits for them, which no one's done that yet.
I am back.
Welcome back. While you were gone, Shock managed to get shot pretty hard, but he did manage to turn the grass sled over, and it's now catawamper in the hallway, covering part of the group.
And he has fulfilled his purpose, and any further losses will be acceptable.
Okay, so you miss him with your blaster. He ducks down just at the last minute. But the shot ricochets down the hallway, and when that happens, the whole hallway behind you, the bay, everything starts flashing with red lights. Somehow or another, or you don't know if you caused it, Roxy, but the security alarm has went off. And that brings us, he doesn't get to act. Next exchange. Too many things on my screen. Why is that? Interesting. Okay. Let's track it. And then pop out's not want to work like it's supposed to. So that brings it around to the hostiles. The first group, they scoop up the droid at Yav's instructions, and they drag themselves and the droid down the hallway away from you guys. The other group, these guys, start shooting back at Roxy because she's closer. So that's 2 purple, and the partial door gives them 1 setback. Can't give it to you guys and not give it to them, so. Ooh. So their bolts both, remember there's 2 people firing, not just 1. One of their bolts sinks home to you, Roxy, and you take 8 points of damage. Now remember, your damage counts up, and you have a soak of 3, so that would leave 5 points of actual
5.
wound damage.
Oh.
Okay. Where'd my thing go? There it is. And that brings it around to your guys' actions. What are you guys doing?
So I guess we can't really get past the guys in the medium band to get to the guys in the long band, right?
You
Until
can. I mean, you'd have to run
disabled them.
past them, but you
Yeah.
can. Because the sled's not blocking the whole hallway. It's just turned up on its side. Keep in mind,
Okay.
this is not a narrow hallway. This is like a wide hallway.
Okay.
Like 2 lanes of traffic out there on a road.
But we would take fire while doing so.
Possibly, maybe not. You don't have, I know what you're thinking of. Opportunity attacks don't exist in this game.
Right. Yeah, that's sort of what my mind was
Yeah. I mean,
dwelling on.
I could maybe be a butt and burn a dark side point, and have something like that happen, but. Oh, yeah, I burned a dark side point while you were gone too, Marty.
Yeah, that's, yeah.
But yeah, I
that
noticed
was
the count
how-
was even.
I think that's how Shot got hit, right? Where he
It
ran a dark
was
side
it
point?
was
Yeah,
because
thought
I
so.
did an upgrade on the shot.
So thanks to his new recocker, or automatic reloader. Shock is ready to fire again. He could take a shot at the bot. I guess that's the boss man, right? The one who.
Seems like he's the one giving orders.
Yeah. I could take a shot at him with my bowcaster, or I could try to rush past him toward the droid, or Roxy could take the turn and do something. What does the group think?
Think it's going to be same whether you act now or act later.
Sorry, say that again. I didn't catch the very end of it. You said stay where I am.
Oh no, it's going to be the same no matter what you do. Sorry.
Oh, I see. Yeah, in terms of the order, it doesn't.
Yeah.
not
And
so
keep in mind, you
critical,
guys got
So
two
yeah,
friendly
the only
actions
thing
in a
I will
row.
say is I can't do anything to the far group. They're too far for my piddly blaster.
I
You
guess
got
I could take a shot at the far group, right? But that's a long way away, isn't it?
It's, medium, long. They're already in extreme range.
Gotcha. So probably my best bet would be to try to do some damage to the guys on the sled or on the truck,
Okay.
to make it easier for one of us, maybe Roxy, to sprint past and go after the droid.
Okay.
So I guess I'll do that if it doesn't really matter what order.
Yeah, you guys got two friendly actions in a row here. So
Exactly. Yeah. So it doesn't. I'll just go first since I verbalized it. All right. So I'll do another ranged heavy attack. What are my difficulty
Okay.
setbacks?
who are you aiming for? Are you aiming for the
I'm aiming for the boss man.
the boss
Who
man?
hit me? He's the one that hit me with the heavy blaster anyway, right?
Correct. Okay, he is 2 bands away, so it's going to be short would be 1 die, and average, so that'd be 3 purple. And then because you haven't moved past that door yet, the black for the setback on that partially closed blast door.
So just 1 or 2 for setback.
1 black, so 3 purple, 1 black.
Okay. Ah.
My wanted to burn the lights out of dice, and then you slam into it. He ducks again. He ducks behind the thing and starts yelling at his companions. That moves it to your neck, unless you're planning on moving. You still can move.
Yeah, I would like to move one. Can I move 1 band
Yeah.
closer behind some crates?
Yeah,
Some sort
you
of
can.
cover, kind of like Roxy
can.
did?
Sure can.
Okay. Do I just drag myself
Yeah,
over
just drag
there?
yourself over there.
Okay.
There you go. So you move up closer. Are you right there with Roxy or with another set of crates?
I'll be at a separate set of crates
Okay.
so we can get some kind of crossfire going.
Okay,
or-
yeah. So you move to another set of crates on the other side of the door where you can still see things, but nothing, and you kind of take in cover in there.
Just metagame wise, probably I should have moved first and then fired, right? That would have increased my
That
chances.
would have
of
that would
hitting
have
you.
helped, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Because that would have reduced the
lesson
difficulty on
learned.
that. Yep, that would reduce that difficulty. It went from 3 to 2. Okay, maybe we passed that. Okay, with the Ytram or Roxy.
Atram's gonna move forward, kind of on the understanding that if we take the boss alive, we'll be able to use him to get info to find the other ones, because his little robot legs can't catch up to them,
Okay.
and without something on a with wheels, he's kind of hindered here. So he's also gonna move up and try and find some boxes that are at more of a flanking angle
Okay.
than right in front,
There's not really
and he's gonna.
nothing
No,
really
go ahead.
great, but there's nothing really great as far as flanking. There's nothing right in front, but both sets of crates are piled up on either side of the doors, so you could easily slide in
Yeah.
by Shock or Roxy, either one.
All right. And then he's gonna try and kill some goons. So then
Okay.
hopefully we can bludgeon or stun setting the boss to death
Okay.
or
So
unconsciousness.
it'd be 2 purple and then the 1 black setback for the partial die, or for the partial door to hit a goon.
All right.
Oh, look at that! Look at that!
Barely made it. We'll take
Barely
it.
made it, but you done
Well done.
7 points of damage. They don't have soak. Wow, they actually have soak. So that's 3. Okay. Picked it up. You shoot one of the goons. He doesn't look happy about being shot. In fact, you hear him start spouting something back in Rhodian toward his boss. Does anybody here speak Rhodian?
I do not think so. Let's see.
think any of you guys do. I don't remember it being on your list.
Where
Anything
would
else?
that be? Where are languages shown?
Let me pull your sheet up here. Don't think they actually have per se a list of them. I think I usually just put them in like the notes. Yeah.
Oh,
Usually I
gotcha.
just stick them in the notes. I don't think anybody here had any other language otherwise than they're given ones. Close that. Okay. You've already moved Etrim, so that brings it to a hostile turn. That brings us to one. Hasn't acted. And he runs. And that brings it to a friendly, which is Roxy. Is the only one who hasn't acted at this point.
Yeah. Oh boy, I just realized, how are they moving so fast carrying that droid? Are they
Because
double moving?
they're double moving, yeah. Those two actually, they've got the droid between them. One has the arms, one has the legs, and they're just hoofing it. Which I don't think actually made them move. Now that I think about it, but oh well.
And would everyone be alright if I double moved, if I used the light side point to shoot
Do what you
as
gotta
well?
do.
Yeah, man, go for it.
Okay. I'll allow it.
Alright.
You burn a light side move to move up 2 bands and take a shot. Now, who are you shooting at? So I know who you're shooting at here. Boss or the.
Anyone carrying the droids.
Okay, so the 2 goons carrying the droids. Okay.
Yeah.
I just need to know which set of which set to bring up and put damage on you.
Yeah.
Okay, now that you're closer, of course, you've burnt a light side point to act. Actually,
So,
you don't have to hold on. You don't have to burn a light side point to do that. You could take 2
Really?
strain voluntarily, and then use that light side point to upgrade your shot.
yeah, I'll do that.
Okay, so just add 2 to your strain.
Yeah. I can gain that back.
Yeah, that's the game says add 2 to your strain, and then your shot here is going to be 2 purple. There's no setback because you're in clear hallway now. So just 2 purple, and then you can hit the upgrade button at the top. It'll upgrade the shot for you, and that's from where you burnt the light side point.
Wouldn't it be 1 purple? Oh wait, no.
No,
I'm still
1
at
purple's the same
medium.
as
aren't
yeah,
I?
yeah. They're still a medium from you. You haven't closed them completely.
I'm getting there.
Yeah, we're all getting there. Believe me, I think I botched a couple of them at the beginning. So
I'm also gonna draw my other pistol.
okay,
No, wait, no. Yeah, I can actually. Sure, yeah.
you can draw it. You just can't use it right now.
So I've upgraded ability.
Okay, let's see it. Oh, looking at that. Okay,
stuff.
you did 8 points of damage. Oh, you only got 1 advantage? I'm just checking something here. Okay. So, with that 1 advantage, let's see how you want to spend that. You can use it to recover 1 strain on yourself if you want. You can use it to add bonus to an allied character's action, the next allied character's action that you want to. Or you can notice something, or you don't have enough. You need your criticals too. You don't have enough to lift a critical, so.
I'll help an ally.
Okay, so whoever goes next can add a bonus to their action. So that's 8 points of damage to these boogers minus their 4 soak, so 4. You shoot one of them in there, and we move around neutral. Oh, wait a minute. Neutral is the droid. Somehow in the action, the droid has been switched back on, or at least partially on, becomes aware of what's going on. Of course.
Help! Help! I'm being abducted! Help me!
He's a master of the obvious.
Yeah, yeah. It's a protocol droid. What do you expect? So he starts screaming for help. And let's see here. What turn are we in? Oh, we are. Okay. The start of the next turn. Out of a side hallway next to you, Roxy, a pair of wheel security appears. Get them into the turn order here. Oh, wait a minute. Before I do that, they need to be listed as neutral. And I bet they're not.
Is that RoboCop?
No, it's not. It does look
Just
kind of like it.
It kind of reminds
It does.
me of him.
Yeah, it does. Okay. Fix them so that they're going to show as neutral. Did not clear them the way I wanted to, but that's okay because that's helping mark who exactly is which set of neutral on our list. They come tearing out of the things. They hear the droid yelling for help, and they start barking orders to cease and desist and begin firing at the Yar-Yar of the Rhodians. Giving things away there. Equipment. Same deal as you. 2 purple, which is an average roll, no setback. Ooh. They slam a success with 8 points to that same group, which is another 4. I'm pretty sure. No. 8 wound. Should drop. Yep. Dropping one of them. One of the guys toting the droid drops to the ground, which then puts the other one who is desperately trying to run away, or with the droid, but he's now slowed down, so the best he can do is drag at 1, expending all of his move to do so. And that brings it around to you guys. What are you doing?
So our Roxy, I guess, could try to rescue the droid.
I could.
Or you could wait for us, like Shocker, Eacham, to close the gap so you can have some help.
I just want to check if my blaster actually has a stun setting.
Should be listing on the screen. Let's see. You have the DE10, right?
Yeah, it says stun.
Yeah.
Oh,
You have
the
stun setting.
security has a stun setting. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Well,
DE10 does
The
have
DE10
stun,
has a
it
stun
looks like.
setting, yeah.
Good. Because all I've got is it's a slug throw, which is deadly, and that.
Yeah.
A very nasty slug throw that does acid. So yeah, I'll move up and.
Okay. Now, are you flipping over to stun, or are you still on regular blaster?
I'm gonna switch over to stun.
Okay. The advantage, in mechanically, so you guys know what happens in stun, I apply the damage to their. Well, like for you guys, it'd be applied to your strain threshold. They don't have a strain threshold because they're just minions, so it gets applied to wounds in general. But that's how that works, mechanically speaking. So same thing. You're two, nothing in the way. You can fire away when you're ready. There, Rox.
The advantage or bonus that he was able to give to an ally, he can't use it himself on his. Or
Actually, he can. He's the next one to move, so he can use it himself.
Okay, so Roxy could use that.
Can use that bonus
or booster, whatever it's called.
The wheel security is not part of your group, so they didn't get advantage of that. So yeah, you can use that
Okay,
bonus. So 2 purple,
Two
1
purple,
blue. 1 blue.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. So Roxy charging down the hallway as on the move, she flips the blaster over to the stun setting, and now instead of the angry red bolt that's been coming out of it, a concentric yet blue circle slams down the hallway, tagging into this group of minions for another 7 points of damage. Not enough advantage there, so you can pick up another bonus to pass on to the next person in your party that acts if you so want. Let me get the damage on here. That would be 3.
We'll pass on the.
Sorry, go ahead.
I'm gonna pass on the advantage and
Okay.
just gonna yell, "Give me back my droids!"
Okay. All right. So that brings it to either Yitram or to Shock.
So if either one of us were to charge into the next band or whatever, maneuver into the next band,
Mhm.
that brings the range to short, right?
Yes.
But that would be the extent. We can only move one band per turn.
You
unless we do
you can move one band per turn,
right.
or you can forego your action to move 2 bands. And like what Roxy a while ago, Roxy voluntarily took strain to move 2 bands and then fire.
Gotcha.
She basically bought an extra action is what it amounts to by agreeing to stress herself out to do it.
So, yeah, I guess the wheeled security has not attacked the Rhodians close to us yet. Close to
Not
Shock
yet, no.
yet.
Not yet. No.
I think unless Eitram would Eitram like to do something? I mean, Shock can wait and do his at the end of or next time we have a friendly.
So yeah, you might as well. Unfortunately, Eitram only has his pistol as of right now, and unless you happen to have like a mounted turret, like he'd be pretty good with one of those. You got that stashed away somewhere.
Yeah, right here in my pocket. Oh wait, Wookiees don't have pockets.
You have a pouch on your new belt.
No, you're right, I do. And I have padded armor, which probably has some little pockets on it somewhere. I think then Shock will move forward a band and then take another shot at the Rhodian that he's sharing a band with.
Okay, let's pair them down here. Okay.
Yeah. And that.
So it's going to be 1 purple. And now that you're through that door, so there's no setback there, and you have a bonus.
Okay. And 1 boost.
Yep.
Okay.
1 purple, 1 blue.
Here goes nothing. Oh, are you kidding?
This is why I love this game in this respect.
Man.
So you charge up you fire your bowcaster at the guys. They duck behind the crash sled. However, you got 4 advantage here. So you didn't hit, so obviously we can't thing there. 4 advantage, oh jeez.
Yeah. That's a lot. Okay, so I can negate the target enemy's defensive bonus.
Yeah, so because okay, I got it. They had been using that grav sled to hide behind. Now they don't. Your shot calls them. They have to jump out from behind that grav sled, so they're in open cover. They're in open ground now. And the next attack against them, I will negate their soak.
Okay.
Which the soak's not a form of that, but that describes thematically what's going on. They jumped out from cover, and they're facing you, not Eitram. Okay, actually, that group has not went yet, have they? So they will attempt to fire at you, Shock, since you just fired at them. They're going to return the favor. Keep hitting the fist to make it fire instead of rolling the die. 2, nothing. Okay, and I'm going to give them a setback because they have to jump out from behind that thing. And Shock. Ooh, luckily enough advantages. So they slam into you for 7 points of additional damage.
Okay, that gives me another wound then because I have 6 soak.
Yep, so it moves your wound to 5.
Yep.
Okay. And they have 2 advantage. How am I going to spend their advantage? Anybody watching the stream was watching me pull up my GM notepad to see screen to see what's going on. Oh. Okay. One of the things they can do, they can perform an immediate maneuver that does not exceed the 2 maneuver per limit guidelines. So they shoot at you using that cover. The both of them move here, and then they're going to move here. They're running away. They see the security guard. They're running toward their friends. And that brings us to Yitram. You're the last one to act in the group.
Eatram will move forward, and he's gonna plug a shot at the boss
Okay.
with the intent of hobbling or crippling him.
Okay.
Cause that sounds about right.
Okay. So you're actually trying to like shoot his legs or his limbs or something like that, right? Not him itself. Okay. So
Yes.
you are 2 bands away. So that'd be 3 purple. Your difficulty, because you're trying to specifically hit an area, I'm going to give you a setback for that.
Okay.
And there is no, I spent that advantage. Oh, shock. So actually, there's 1 advantage left, so take a bonus, so you get a blue.
All right.
That's for the
Yeah.
one that I didn't use if you're shocked, because I used a level 3
Right.
to get him to jump out.
All right. Let's see what happens.
Lots of dice is what happens.
That is a lot of dice.
Oh wow! Oh wow! Okay, so 1 failure. So you're going to take 1 strain for that Yitram. That's where that failure. Oh, hold on, let me check that. No, that's not. That strain is for threat. Never mind. Never mind. You didn't pull a strain on that. She pulled a failure. So never mind. Disregard that comment. It's like you all, the GM is still learning the system too. So you fire your shot into them. It manages to fail. You have an advantage though. So he's going to lose his soak for the next turn because he's being fired at from all sides. Not sure if that's even in the rules, but that's what we're going to do. The droid continues to squawk about being abducted. Gets louder. The hostile. This is him. He's going to move 1. He sees the wheel security. He sees you all. He sees the droid. Trying to think what he's going to do here. Is he going to double run to escape? No. He's going to shoot at Roxy, who is the closest to his buddies. So that's 2. And I'll give him a setback. We don't have to worry about, well, no, I won't give him a setback. Roll that. Let's see if he manages to hit Roxy. Oh, he failed miserably in hitting Roxy. But he can give advantage to one of his next buddies next time around. I should get 2 advantages to his buddies next time around. And Will Security begins calling backup because people are shooting everywhere. And actually, I'm going to do this, guys, just because we're moving across this thing. Ah, there we go. All I did was move everybody back so we have more room for running. Okay, Will Security more concerned about the droid being abducted than anything else is going to fire at that group up there. Get Will Security up. They are 2 band. Oh, well, they can close. No, everybody. Just Will Security. They close in on the droid being abducted. Fire the blaster pistol at them. Oh. Okay. Their shots go wide, hitting the droid, but in order to not get shot, the guy trying to drag the droid lets go of the droid. So he no longer has the droid in his hands. Well, not that he had him in his hands. He's no longer pulling by his arms. Okay, and that brings it to the hostile. He decides that it's not worth it, and he starts booking it. Actually, no, I say about give him strain to double run, but he's just gonna run on fire. So that brings it around to you guys. What are you guys doing?
I guess first priority would be to secure the droid, right? So Roxy, I mean, I'm not sure. I mean, I guess you can move forward next to the droid to help protect him from the remaining boss guy.
Gonna try and sort of, like get
Yep.
get in front of the droids.
So yeah, Roxy gets between the droid and I'll move the droid there. That way you can easily show it. Roxy gets between the droid. Okay, anything else, Roxy?
And yeah, gonna shoot again with my D10, and
Okay.
it's gonna accidentally
Oh god, I don't like where this is going.
come off stun
Okay.
accidentally.
Now, are you shooting at the boss or are you shooting at the thugs?
Yeah, I'm shooting the boss.
Okay.
He's a sore loser. He deserves it. Just
Be
one difficulty.
one difficulty because you're in the same band with him, and there's nothing there to protect him, so no setback like that. It's a straight up shot. Okay. 2 successes, 1 advantage. Okay, now
I
this is
just
where it's
go,
going to get fun.
Oops.
This is where it's going to get fun. Okay, let me get his damage on here now. He lost his armor, so to speak, so got his health in there. Now, you have 2 successes that upgraded your damage, but that also means, you see your critical number where it's 2? You can inflict a critical, and he's the kind of character you can, he's not a minion, so you can actually inflict a critical. Would you like to inflict a critical on him, or just do 10 more points of damage to him?
10 more points of damage.
Okay.
More damage is more damage.
That's fine. I will jump his damage up 10. I'm pretty sure it's 10, but that's how we're going to roll it for right now. And, okay. That takes care of that. That brings it around to either Shock or Yitram.
Eatrum is curious. Do all these guys only have blaster pistols, or would any of them happen to have a rifle on the ground?
All of them have blaster pistols.
Darn, I was hoping one of these corpses might have something a little longer range.
Keep-
Then, go ahead.
Keep in mind, the party went shopping, and you weren't here for that, so you do have credits you can spend, but let me know that off
So
session.
yeah, I don't
I'll
think I
take
can buy mid-combat, so...
Yeah, not mid-combat, but some you may have picked up might be stored on the ship right now.
Then I'm gonna move forward and try the same thing as last time. I don't want this guy to be leaving.
Okay, so you're shooting the boss, right?
Yes, we
He-
we will take him alive, and we will extort him for all of his money.
Bands is long. You are 2 bands away long, so it'd be 3 purple.
That's okay. It's okay.
Oh, okay. Now, you slam him for 10 points of damage. Okay, first let me see if he'll even succeed that. 10 points of damage minus his soak 4 means he goes night night. Let's go list 20 for right now. However, you also have 4 successes in there, Yitram. Would you like to roll a critical for him? I mean, he's unconscious. But your shot could have caused critical damage to him if you want.
Oh, might as well. If we're gonna be keeping him until he offers up
Okay.
a donation.
So I'm going to hit the critical roll table here, and should pop up where you guys can see it. Make sure I got it right. Critical injury, not critical damage, because it's for a person, not a ship. Rolling.
Like his wallet.
what they can be added to. Get like 50,000 error messages here. I'm aware of that. You can stop. So while it's telling me that it can only be added to certain actor types, I'm very much aware of that. Wasn't trying to get it. Oh, let's see what it is. Let me pull it off him so it'll quit griping. It actually added it to his character sheet, which I didn't want it to do. I mean, I did, but I didn't. You know what I'm saying? There we go. It's griping because he's not the right type of actor. Those are really meant for you guys. So yeah, he dropped something. Let's see. Let me look at his sheet. Let's see what he dropped there. He dropped his heavy blaster pistol. It's no longer equipped. It's laying loose on the floor. Okay. He's unconscious. Let me put a... There we go. Not really dead, he's just unconscious. But still, you see it on his token there. So we know he's out for the fight. It actually puts it on the map too for me. Okay. And this group, nope, they're not hanging around for their boss. They're running. That brings it around to Roxy.
Shock, I think, right?
Oh yeah, Shock. I'm sorry. Roxy went at the beginning.
Yeah.
So Shock will use his maneuver in action to get 2 bands up, I guess.
Okay.
Just so he's close if Roxy needs backup for some reason.
Sounds good.
And I think that'll be it for him then, right?
Okay. Behind Roxy, the droid is trying to right himself, get on his feet. He's flopping and turning over. Protocol droids don't move that well. And that brings it to a hostile, which technically is unconscious, but I'll go ahead and use that for this group. They run away. Wheel security. I'm going to do this. Like they split up. Is what it announced. It's the same tokens. They just split up. This one moves up here, moves up a band, and he's going to fire at this group of clan members. Blaster pistol. He's 2 away, right? He's 2 away. Oh, wait a minute. No. Yeah. 2 away. Roll. He succeeds doing... Ooh. Okay. Hostile group. Oh. How stupid are they? I was going to wonder when I start asking those questions. You're afraid, yeah, but he's unconscious. Yep. Okay. They failed to do the right thing. They run. Friendlies. What are you guys doing?
Roxy should probably talk to the droid, I guess, or calm him down. I don't know. Does he seem like he's quite shook up?
He doesn't. Right now, he's just trying to right himself because he's on the ground. He was being carried and got dropped. And then he was being drugged. So right now, the droid is just trying to right itself.
I'll slot my pistols away and help him up.
Okay. So Roxy starts helping him up. Okay, well, here's what we'll do. We'll end combat because those are pretty much the one wheel of security that's standing by you, Roxy. He turns and he goes, "Does this droid belong to you?"
He belongs to my boss.
Ah. And your boss is?
I gave him the name of the
Yeah.
company.
Okay, Ice Attack. Oh, that makes sense. Not so. At the same time he's doing this, he's now been over putting stun cuffs. You know, he's checking to see that Riom's alive, which he is. You guys just knocked him out. He's putting stun cuffs on Riom. And he hollers to his partner, you know, who's stopped there heading his, let him go. They'll come back for their boss. And the other one says, you sure? It's like, trust me. They'll come back for Yavyar.
Who are these? So Shock's gonna do some curious sounding grunts and growls, and his translator droid will say, so who are these ruffians?
Well, the one security guard, I'm clearing everybody off except for Yav and security here. Well, this one, he points to the ground. That one is Yavyar. He's the head of a family of Rhodians that specialize in, well, among other things, recovery of lost merchandise and scrapping and that sort of thing. Similar to what your boss does, only probably more or less on the legal side than what your boss does. And it's at this point that the droid chimes in.
I'm IT-3PO. I'm property of the Isotech Corporation. Master Riom sent me here to work with the crew of the Rabbit Rancor. I understand that
Looks at you all questioningly as if,
are you the crew of the Rabbit Rancor?
Yeah?
Yep, that'd be us.
This is most unorthodox. Which way to your vessel?
Shock kind of points with his bowcaster back through the damaged bay door in that direction. Right? If I remember correctly, that's where our ship is.
Someone go with him so he doesn't get kidnapped again, please, though.
Eachram's gonna take everything out of Yav's pockets before he goes along with.
well, the only thing you're able to get to, because the security guard, you know, is in the process of hauling away, is his heavy blaster pistol is laying on the ground there.
Oh, they got to him before I did. That's sad.
Those damn law enforcement always getting in the way.
Do you want to snag that pistol?
So, yeah, let's grab the pistol. And what about all the stuff that I think we only killed one or two dropped.
You
saw their stuff too.
Well, you knocked one unconscious, yeah. They're in the process around him. I'm pulling Yav's sheet up here for you, so I can drag his pistol over.
I'll just grab what I can off the floor like it's the most natural thing in the world.
Okay, I just added a heavy blaster pistol to your sheet. And let me see what one of those. I don't think they have much, to be honest. They're just minions.
So yeah, even if I don't use it, we can sell it. The cool thing about having a ship for storage.
You managed to grab a vibro knife, a couple of vibro knives, and a comlink. I've dragged all that onto your sheet already for you, Eatram.
Fantastic, thank you.
I mean, they had armor, but that'd have been a little obvious what she's doing there. You had to undress him.
So how do wounds work as far as healing go?
Okay,
Okay,
good. Okay, let's talk about that for a second. So, a couple of you are pretty banged up. Eatram's been there already. So, first thing you both all need to do for me is make a vigilance check. No difficulty, just a vigilance check. So on your sheet, just pull it up. I'm going to pull Eatram's up on the screen here. Find vigilance on your character and roll that. And for every success you get, that's a strain point you get back if you have any strain damage.
Okay. Does that? But in my case, the strain were also from my.
Yeah, yours can't go.
Betrayal.
You can't go above the 8.
Okay.
I failed.
So it doesn't matter if you succeed or fail. It's the manages. It's the what you rolled. So you didn't recover any. That's what it amounts to. Now, wounds are a little bit different. I'm gonna pull my notes up so I can tell you. Natural healing.
Sorry. I'm sorry. Just so I get clarification. So the 2 strain I got at the beginning of the session because of the betrayal thing, they cannot be taken away by this roll, right?
Correct.
Okay.
They're
Alright,
going to
just
be.
making
You're
sure.
stuck with those for the session.
Gotcha. Okay. That's the
So-
only 2 I had actually, I think.
Okay,
So.
then you're good. Then you're good to go.
Yeah.
So, natural healing is 1 wound a day. Unlike in D&D, when you take a long rest and you get all your hit points back, it doesn't work that way here. You can make a mechanics or a medicine check to do, to patch wounds, bind wounds, repair yourself. If you're successful, then you recover 1 wound per success. If you make a medicine or a mechanics check, you can recover 1 wound per success. The other option is to use a stim pack or a repair patch in a droid's case. The last option, and the most severe option, will be a back to tank or an oil bath for a droid.
Gotcha. So I think Shock will use the stim pack. That will take care of his wounds because they do 5. Is that correct? They'll remove
Yes,
5 wounds.
They do 5 wounds.
And do you know? So 1 stim pack can do like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, right? For
Correct.
healing over time.
Correct. Yeah.
Is there an easy way to keep track of that, or we just need to kind of
We just kind of keep track of it ourselves.
keep track
Now-
of it
now
ourselves?
Here's
Okay.
the catch with it. That's 5 wound the first time you used it, then 4, then 3, then 2, and 1, like you're talking about.
Right.
But
right.
if you have a long rest in there, the equivalent of long rest, a full night's sleep, you recover, that starts over. It's only in 1 day that it does the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The way it's explained,
okay.
the way it's explained in the rules is that the reason they have the reduction in repair in healing is because it's all it's Bacta and antibiotics and stuff being injected into your system. So it takes a full 24 hours for the full flush through your system. So after a full day, they start over again, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now for Yitram or a droid, because we actually originally had a couple droids in the group, the repair patches do 3, if I'm not mistaken, and there is no reduction for them.
Yep.
Slap someone and gets 3. Basically, he's putting 100-mile-an-hour tape on his chest is what it amounts to.
So what is the advantage of having more than 1 stim pack then if they just reset each? I mean, I guess just that you can heal more people, I suppose. But
Right.
Like you can't. One person could only use 1 stim pack a day, and it would.
No,
be
you
that
can use up to 5 a day. But the first time you use 1, you get 5 points back. The second time that person uses 1, they only get 4. Third time they get 3, and so on. It reduces each time. So in essence, you really could get 5, 4, 9, 10,
Oh,
12,
okay, yeah.
13.
I think I was misunderstanding. So when I used the first stim pack for 5 points, that stim pack's gone.
Right.
So if I wanted to do 4 points, I would have to use the second stim pack.
Correct.
Okay, in the same day, I mean.
Right. Right.
Okay, all right, now I understand.
Yeah.
I was reading it as if they were recyclable or something, but that's
No,
not
they're
right.
not
So,
recyclable.
yeah.
They're
Okay.
one use. You're basically
Okay.
jabbing yourself with a Bacta syringe and saying, okay, let's fix this. And accelerating healing growth. Kind of like a healing
Gotcha.
potion in D&D.
Okay.
Only
So
not-
I'm going to use 1 stim pack and just take care of my 5 wounds then.
Okay. Let's go ahead and mark stim pack off and fix your wounds. Roxy, what about you?
I'm gonna keep my wounds. I reckon we got enough time between now and the next fight.
Yeah, so you're just worried about, okay, I'm not bleeding, it's collateralized enough, it's okay. So the security guard is, they're trailing IVR up and goes, I will need someone to file a complete report of what happened. The droid is trundling off toward the direction you pointed. He kind of gets to the door, turns halfway, and
Which ship is yours?
did you hear me?
Yeah. The name of our ship would be on on a console outside the slip or whatever they would
Well,
call
there
it.
would
the
normally be,
bay.
but that console got shattered. Remember, someone blew it
Ah.
up.
Okay. So Shock will kind of roll his eyes and walk over to the droid and kind of help him through the door and escort him over to our ship.
Yeah, because
to
and good
Ramsden
call, because I
Ramport.
forgot the door's part way shut. So
Yeah.
you lift the droid over the blast door and you go, that one. in Sri Wook, he doesn't even stop. He just starts waddling towards your ship. The security guard looks and he goes, "Wait a minute, weren't?" And he looks right at Roxy. "Weren't you the one who called in the alert earlier about some Rhodians?"
I was apparently right.
"Yes, very well. Said if you can," and he pulls out a tablet and flips around to you and says, "If you could," and holds it up, says, "Can you record your statement as to what happened, please? I'll need one from each one of you, please."
Oh, fine.
I'm only a droid, so I will feign ignorance and just not.
Just not. Okay, so
Stop filling it out.
okay, so you start answering the question. You start making your statement with it. He gets done taking yours, Roxy. And that's pretty. And then he turns to Shock and goes, and just kind of looks at you and goes, "I'll need your statement too, sir."
Shock kind of does his little roaring grunts and growls again. And,
Okay.
Yep.
So
Just screams at it.
yeah, but you Shock's explaining what happened in Shrewwood, but given his statement, but his translator droid, you guys notice, never says a word the whole time. And Shock, as you're watching the the translation on this on it, it's very obvious his translator pad doesn't understand Shrewwook, and it's literally just typing out roar, r, grr. It's what it's putting on the screen.
That's kind of what I was hoping. Yeah, actually, is that I was gonna tell the after I got done with my growling and grunting, I was gonna have the translator droid basically either not translate it or give some really terse, one sentence.
So it goes through, and you just kind of reach down and just muffle and put your hand on the droid so it doesn't translate, and it knows what to do. And it doesn't, too many times being with you in this kind of stuff happens, it just shuts up, And he kind of looks and goes, well, thank you, sirs and ma'am. We will get this filed away, and we will deal with, by this point, another, a very similar speeder truck has arrived. Only this one's more like a police cruiser has arrived. They've bundled in Yav Yar into it. He goes, "Lucky you didn't run into more of his group. I do wish you luck on whatever your adventures be. If you need have any questions, please feel free to contact us." And he produces an electronic card and hands it to you. And they head on back down the hallway, leaving you guys to yourselves. I will move Yav and the police over to the side, leaving you all to do what you are doing. So what are you doing?
Well, I think that we were really only waiting on. Sorry, what's the protocol droid's name? I3PO.
IT3PO.
IT3PO. Oh, for Isotech, I guess. Okay. We were only waiting on IT3PO to leave, right? Because he was.
Yeah, you went. Yeah. That was Riam's instructions. As soon as you got the droid, you were to leave.
Right. So, unless Eitram would like to handle his shopping before we go, while still on the wheel, I guess.
Well, technically, Eitram's already done his shopping. That's not a problem.
So he'll just handle that.
He just needs to let me know what he wants so we can get that out of the way.
Okay.
Yeah, I can handle that in the background.
Yeah.
Cool. Is there any reason for us to stay then at this point?
That's up to you all. Because I guess you're asking the group, not me. So.
Yeah, I am. I'm asking the other guys if there's anything else they want to do on the wheel or that, unfinished business.
Unless we want to go mug people, Eitram doesn't have anything.
Okay.
So you move back into the bay, and start making your way toward the ship. Yitrim, as you're moving into the bay, you get a ding on your personal comm,
Oh, better answer that.
and you get one as well, Shock.
Okay.
Uh,
Shock kind of, yeah, feels
uh,
around for it. He had forgotten he actually has a comm link.
Yeah. So when you bring up, and it's a text message, it's not an actual voice message. The voice message says clipped terse legalese text. Yitrim, you are being charged 20 credit fine for destruction of a panel on the security door. And Shock, you're being charged 500 credits for the destruction of a grass sled.
How much?
500.
500?
Yeah.
But is that like a parking ticket that like they just don't get it until I pay it, or they have some way of automatically taking my
Yeah,
credits?
you're just being notified that you owe that money
Oh, okay.
as part of the, and it's all attached to. And as you're scrolling down through, both of you make. Let's see. Let's make this a little fun here. Both of you make a negotiations check with 3 setback. There's
Oh.
there's attached video files, and remember you have a light side point. If anyone wants to spend a light side point,
I don't think it's gonna matter. I
What
have a
difficulty?
single green.
Yeah, I know. I'm not very good at negotiation. Is it 2 difficulty still?
3 difficulty, 3 purple.
3 purple and
3 purple, 3
setback.
black.
No setback.
Is-
Just 3 purple.
Oh, I thought you said 3 setback.
I'm sorry, I meant 3 purple.
Okay. All right.
All
3
right,
purple.
so the droid would just like to point out that he's kind of property, and I feel like just finding a robot isn't very ethical because you
Okay.
could just turn the droid off. But
So
hey,
both of you, there's sections there. You scroll down through it, and while I was rolling, you scroll down to the bottom, and basically then it comes into all these, the damages and all this, and then there's a stamp at the bottom that says fines. Well, let's see, how bad did you fail that? 3 failures and 1 failure. Okay. So as you go through at the bottom, it says those fines will be assessed to your account. They are to be paid within the next 30 standard days. If they are not paid within the next 30 days, it goes to a whole bunch of legalese and all that. And what you're looking at, apparently justice is swift on the wheel. Apparently MasterCon has already had the court case on the damages caused by your firefight.
Huh. All
And,
right, so
and-
Shock.
but, and then,
oh,
then there's
sorry,
there and then there's a caveat at the bottom that says 30 days depending upon final adjudication of entire event case dealing with, and then it has Yav Yar listed. So basically what it's saying is, look, you're most likely going to be fined these amounts, and it'll be due within 30 days after the closing of Yav Yar's case.
Okay.
was there no like
So-
bounty or finder's fee on Mr. Yavyar?
Possible, but that hasn't been processed yet.
So the best thing to do is for us to wait to see what happens with that case, and then we can figure out what to do about it. I mean, worst case, we could just ask Isotech to pay for us, right?
Correct.
Since we saved their droid.
Correct. I will remind you.
Oh
that when
yeah,
you-
we can totally extort them.
I will remind you too. Whenever you was trying to contact Isotech, no one answered the comm.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. So maybe this what's the name of this clan again?
The Yar Yar clan. I think
The
it's
Yar clan has maybe
the
moved against
ER.
them.
Sorry, the
Oh.
Yar clan.
ER
I'll put it in
has
chat.
maybe moved against Isotech. There's some kind of conflict going on between them.
I put it in chat.
Oh yeah, see.
Not sure why
ER,
it says
okay.
it as Yitrim. Oh, because I have Yitrim selected. Now I know why it zoomed in on Yitrim, because he was talking. Okay. So, are you headed to the ship to go about your business, or what?
Shock thinks it's a good idea to get the heck out of here. If our employer might actually be in trouble, we don't want to get caught up in that at this point, right? We just want to go fulfill our mission and then come back once all that's been settled.
That makes sense.
That's what Shock will relay to his teammates and await their opinions.
No,
Can
I
look
agree with
through
that.
to see? Can I look to see how much the fine is for non-payment? Like, how much is the interest if you don't pay your fine?
There's no interest tag to it. It just there is. If you go through education, you're probably scrolling through it here. You know, you probably pull up Roxy going through it and looking. It's like basically Roxy, as you begin looking through it, again, it all hinges upon what's found out in Yavyar's case and to how much he's responsible for. It could all be wiped clean if it's proven that they were just defending themselves when they, you know, caused these damages. But right now, the system is indicating that, you know, a blaster bolt fired by Yitrim caused the destruction of the panel. A blaster bolt from Shock caused the destruction of the grav sled. Someone's got to pay for that. It may very well, you know, end up tagged back to him. Basically, this is just a notice of you're involved in legal litigation here and may need to be required to pay fines and or appear in court when summoned. There is a section in there where you can refer it to your legal counsel on the wheel or whatever jurisdiction your legal counsel is in for them to deal with if you so wish. I want to say it's so nice as a game master, actually having to think about the legality of some of the things we do as adventurers. You know, in D&D, sometimes you're in the middle of nowhere, you're in some hick town, there's no law. Here it's like, oh crap, there would be a complete legal system in place here.
See, it's also like the difference between like level 3, level 4 guards and we have an entire station with, you know, automated blasters and
Exactly.
turrets.
Exactly. Okay, so are you headed out to your destination, or are you going to deal with the legal issue you have?
Well, I was actually wanting to just see if I could pick up one more thing.
Sure.
Some pit crew overalls, because my shit, stuff's now got holes in it.
Got a big blaster. So if you do remember, there was that shop that you all passed, the one that Shock picked up his new bandoliers in.
Yeah.
You
Yeah, I
can go
remember.
back there, and there's plenty of overalls and things in that shop, so it's not a problem for you to do. You run back to that shop. I can't think of the name of it right now. Let me see. Business proposition. Well, here we go.
I just mainly want those overalls because they get one more encumbrance. And even though I just calculated it on my own because I can't for some reason use the one on here.
Right. Okay, so
But I need more. I need more room for grenades.
more over grenades. Okay, so let me get in the stats here for you. You did manage to go back to that shop, and he does have a pair in stock. They're an off-brand, but that really doesn't seem to
fine.
matter to you. I think it'll be an armor pit crew, right?
Yep.
Pit crew coveralls. Make sure this is right. Quality 1. Working. Yep. I'm going to drag this over sheet. 100. It's 100. Normally it's 150 credits. He's selling them for 50 credits.
Oh, that's nice.
And I think it went on there. Yep.
And I just updated.
Yep.
Just got rid of the 50 credits. Yeah.
And
that's so cool stack, won't it?
Yes. Because the way those are, yes, that would stack.
HP? Does that mean they'll eventually deteriorate?
Yes.
Oh well.
Yeah, it does mean they will eventually deteriorate. Endless vigils, where they come from. I see whole description on here. But yeah, I mean, eventually you get so many holes in them, they're going to fall apart like anything else. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
That's all I wanted.
okay, that's taken care. That's taken care of. In the meantime, while you're, because he's taking a little bit to track back around to the business district. Anything else? Anybody wants to pick up like that?
No, I think Shock's good.
Eatrim?
Eachram's decided he's going to save up his money because he wants to get better cybernetic parts.
Okay.
So he's gonna hold
Well,
off.
now the guys, the crew could show you to a nice droid shop.
Yeah, but I have a feeling the amount of money I have isn't enough for what I want to do.
Okay,
So
fair enough.
we'll hold off till I get good couple thousand.
Okay. And while you were trekking over there to that, you all received a message from Riom telling you he'll deal with the legal issues in the station. All you need to worry about is what you agreed to do. Get the droid off the station while you can, and find Salnul. Find the ship. So are you headed off the station now, or what's your plans?
Eachram's ready to find a treasure ship.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's take a quick break, not so much in the game, but just a break in the action, because that's the first chapter of the story. And I need to give you XP. So,
Ooh.
It's Christmas time.
exactly. You saved IT3PO. So, let's see, I'll give you a total here, but as I sum it up, that's 10 XP for that. Let's see, you had 3 encounters, so that's 15 more, so that's 25. I'll give you another 5 each for the role playing. You did investigation on so that's 30, and did investigating on the Salnulor and the planets, because you did some digging to find out more information about that, plus you all knew some things. That's 10, so that's a total of 40 XP each.
Nice.
Very nice, very nice.
It's one thing I do like about the way they set these adventures up. When you get to very set points, is a great time to say, okay, now here's what you've earned. Okay. I'm looking to see how far. Okay, so as the crew reassesses the situation, they're on the ship. They got IT3PO squared away. They still got their new droid to play with. You begin looking into, how to get where you need to go. And this is probably something that Yeatram has already done as the pilot. That's probably something he was doing, in the background whenever you guys were working on the droid and called him in there. So you got a couple of options that you present to the Yeatram. Based on the information coming from the emergency message capsule that Riom had, the last location of the ship. You have that. The last location was Shonga, or Shogana. Or the other option you have set up for him is you can fly, so you can jump directly to Shogana. Now, the danger in doing that, Yeatram, and this is a pilot, the way hyperspace works in Star Wars, it's like driving on highways. Typically, you follow set hyperspace routes to certain points, then you get off those established routes because they're constantly checked and rechecked to make sure they're open, there's no gravity shadows, nothing like that, okay? To just directly jump from the wheel to Shogana is going to be an extremely difficult or a daunting navigational task. You're going to sit down and do all these calculations and figure out the best way to do it. It's actually going to be a daunting astrogation check. The other option would be to follow the Soundalor's flight path, which would take you to the end of the Primlian trade route, which is a standard trade route, and then make another jump from the trade route itself, the end of the trade route, to Chogana, where you wouldn't want to go. In doing that, it would only be an average astrogation check to make it from the end of the trade route to there. The only difference is the time. If you fly the route, I was reading my notes here, so what the pause was about. If you
okay.
fly
I was just going to ask, what is the time difference?
Yeah, if you fly the route, the first leg flying the Primlian way is only going to be will take a class one hyperdrive would take 48 hours, so double that for you all because you got a class 2 drive. Times 2 because I can't do math tonight.
Wasn't someone giving us something better?
Yeah, you haven't got that yet. You talked about having one installed. So it would take you 96 hours to get to the end of the Primlian Way. And then from there, you got to make another jump. And that would take another 48 hours, give or take. Now, to do the direct jump, Uncharted, take about, 6 plus 48. To follow the trade routes, 144 hours. To do a direct jump is about 110 hours. So you're talking about 5 days in hyperspace, 5 to 8 days in hyperspace, depending on the way you go with your ship.
Yeah.
Prefer not flying into a black hole.
Say, yeah, all I can take with my talents would be to remove setback die rather than make navigation easier.
Now that actually can come into play. Now the direct jump, like I said, that's a daunting astrogation check. There's no setback to that, just a daunting check. Now the following the trade route, that's just an average check to follow the trade route. I mean, it's just a matter of plugging in the route's information and flying it. The last piece, though, will be a hard navigation check with 2 setback. So if you've got skills to remove that setback, you could remove the setback. Or you could burn light side die to help with that calculation. So that's your all's decision as you guys discuss it. I'll let you all discuss. Actually, while you discuss that, I'm going to go grab me a drink real quick.
Say,
So,
go ahead.
oh, so Eitram's making these astrogation checks. Is that correct? Are you worried about that these are beyond your ability, or?
I'm worried about the daunting one, but I'm also looking at my tree list for skills, and I could, well, no, I couldn't reroll the astrogations, but I can reroll piloting checks. So I don't know how anybody else's astrogation is.
Well,
yeah.
I was specking some astrogation. I've got 3 greens and a yellow. So it ain't bad.
Can one player assist another with astrogation checks? Like.
Yes, that can happen.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, my talent tree, all I can do is remove setback.
Isn't that like a boost die?
Yeah, gives a boost die or a bonus die.
Does it depend on the rank level of the person helping?
It just gives a bonus.
No? It's just one bonus.
Yeah.
What if 2 people help?
Technically, still just one bonus.
Just one boost. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, basically, you're doing a lot of complex calculations. That'd be like someone say, "Oh no, carry this number, carry that number." It just kind of gets confusing.
Yeah.
It's just
yeah.
one
No,
bonus.
I can see the logic of that. Yeah. But we're pretty sure that this Yar clan is probably on our tail, right?
Yeah, you're obviously on. You're obviously on their radar. If they tried to grab the droid, they obviously know something now.
And it may be them who cause something to happen at Isotech, which would explain why we can't get in touch with Isotech. You know,
Right.
they could have moved on them as well as tried to steal the droid at the same time.
Right.
So we have to also weigh the time, right? We don't want to be.
Yeah. Exactly.
We
But
want
now-
to be the first ones there. Yeah.
But now, on the flip side of that, though, you did manage to get the head of the clan incarcerated, at least temporarily.
Oh, the guy who got caught was the head of the clan. I
Yeah.
just thought he was some upper
No, no.
henchman. Okay.
He's the head of the clan.
So that should throw them into disarray for a while.
Well, in
So
theory, yes.
just out of curiosity, for that like daunting check, and if we like really botch it, what are the consequences of that?
Well,
Or what some examples? I know maybe you would
yeah.
not
I mean,
decide until the actual roll, but yeah.
So yeah, what are some of the consequences here?
I mean, do we end up in the heart of a sun, or do we end up like in uncharted space and we can't find our way back, or like, what?
D, all the above. I mean, you could really botch it and end up in the middle of nowhere with a failing hyperdrive and be stranded somewhere and never heard from again. You could
Time to roll up new characters. Yeah.
you could cause the ship to forced to make a forced landing somewhere, and then you got to spend some time repairing the ship to get back in there, and then figure out then another check to get back on the space lanes. Or you might succeed masterfully and make the jump directly there. So
Who knows? We might run into an Imperial or a pirate base. Who knows?
this is true.
Yeah, I guess I'm sort of in favor of the longer, safer approach if we think we might have a gap of time before our rivals can catch up with us. But I would defer to the group if you guys wanted to try for the daunting leap into into the unknown.
Can I just
Say-
ask, with the trees, some of them have got lines attached to them. So you have to take the one before that, and I imagine you
Yes.
have to take the ones at the top first.
Correct.
But
I
when
don't
you
think
get-
you have to take the ones at the top first. I think you can go to anyone it's connected to, because not all of them connect vertically.
Well, you got to. What tree are you looking at? Let me start there.
Slice a tree.
Okay, let me pull that up. Give me a sec here. Specializations. Feel stupid. I just spent like 5 seconds scrolling down when I could have just typed in slicer. And of course, I'm in the wrong one. Good. That's not the trees, Jason. Eric.
Also posted it in chat.
Yeah, that's. I'm just looking for a second. Put up on the screen. Yeah, I know a faster way to get to it. That was stupid. There's an easier way. Generator. Luckily, these open pretty quickly. There we go. Proxy. Select. Specialization. So you're looking at the slicer tree. Yeah, you have to start at the top and work your way down. So like in yours, you'd have to start with like Codebreaker, and then that would get you to defensive slicing, and then that would pull you to natural programmer, and then that would pull you down the second defensive slicing, the second rank in that. Then it would allow you to like go to the right and pick up a third rank in it, pick up a second rank Codebreaker, and so on.
Alright,
What about-
so if I wanted to get... Oh, sorry.
No, I'll let you
Okay.
go first before I ask my questions.
Yeah, I was just so when I went to the right, I'd have to go back up to get to like something like technical aptitude.
Yeah, unfortunately. And it's a matter of like in this case, and this is a
Yeah.
little bit more difficult. It's prereqs is what it amounts to. They have to be connected
Yeah.
to get to them.
Okay, but there's some like 5-point cost ones up at the top that aren't
Right.
connected to anything
Yeah.
that won't have.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
First level tree, you can pick any of those you want, but you have to be able to connect to the ones below, or find a way for it to connect around. Yeah.
Well, I know I'm gonna pick up natural program because I want that reroll.
Don't blame you. You remember each one of those 5, 10, 15, and so on. That you're adding those into your sheets. And you should be able to do that on your chart, on your character sheet, where I can find them and add them in. So just let me know what ones you add now. Each and what's your question?
I was gonna ask about moving laterally on a tree, but I just was scrolling through the rule book and saw that you can't move side to side.
Not unless it's connected, yeah.
Yeah. Well, you have to have the ones above it before you can just move laterally.
Right.
So
Yeah, like in the case of people can't see my screen, but like case of what Roxy's asking, they have to get down the defensive slicing, and then Roxy can start with technical aptitude and work down that line, or to grit work down that line.
Am I right that we cannot burn our new XP on the trip out? Like that has to
Oh,
wait till the
no,
next session, or
No, you can do that.
we
Yeah.
can.
Yeah, you got days on the ship.
so yeah, I already put all mine towards my pilot tree.
I just have to remember how much everything costs again. Let's see.
If you click on the your specialization in your talents section, it'll pull up the tree for you with the costs and everything.
Yeah. Yep, that is one of the niceties in it. I'll pull Roxy's
In the
up.
character sheet, you mean?
Yep. Go under your talents, and then actually Eatrim has one, so I'll pull his up. Talents.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Got it?
Yeah, I think so.
Because like Eatrim, I'm looking at Eatrim. He has full throttle improve, galaxy mapper, let's ride, natural pilot, rapid recovery, and skilled jockey.
So yeah, I'm trying to just max out my pilot tree. Although I do need to look into upgrading some of my skills too. Eventually.
And I'm looking at Roxy right now. Roxy has codebreaker, defensive slicing. Well, no, is adding more stuff in as I speak. It's updated on my screen.
That was the last one, the bypass security.
Bypass security, yeah. Okay.
And so it's 5 points
Top right
times the rank for your skills that are within your career path.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or within your career. Okay.
Yeah. For skills, yeah.
And then if it's
And
out of
it's-
career, it's
It's 10.
10 per level. Okay.
Yep.
Gotcha.
And it's
Easy.
the level you're going to. It's like if you're going to a level 2, it'd be out of skill, it'd be 10 times 2. So it'd
Yeah.
be 20.
Yeah. Right.
Okay. I can't close that. It's about to close the recording software. That would not have been a good move. So, what's the decision? You don't get your skill stuff taken care of. What's the decision on how you're getting out of here?
I think we're gonna take the long way unless someone has a whole lot of faith in me.
Yeah.
Okay.
A long way.
So let's get a couple rolls out of the way so we can see how that goes. I need an average astrogation check for going down the Prelian way. Prelian way. Okay, I see the roll coming out there. Successful check. 2 with advantage. So you end up doing the calculations on you really well with that. You actually shave a few hours off. It only takes you 40 hours.
Um, I just put points in this. Any astrogation check I take only takes half normal time.
Oh, there you go. So it's going to take you 40 hours. We'll divide that by 2. You can cut it down to
Lucky I
20
just put
hours.
points in that.
There you go. So you can cut that down to 20 hours. Okay. Now, so you reach the end of the preliminary way. Hopefully I'm not butchering that. With little no consequences, takes you 20 hours. So about a day. I'm keeping a record of the time so I can tell you how much your natural healing, like for Roxy and things like that, how much natural healing is taking effect there. And then you need to make the last jump. Are you jumping straight to Chogana from the end? Is that the plan?
I think so.
Okay. To do that, that's going to be a hard check, 3 purple, and 2 setback.
All right, I reduce one of those setback for that same talent.
Okay, so setback's 1, so 3 and 1.
Can I help him
You
and
can.
boost it?
You can.
I would love some help. All right,
So that'd
so
be 3 purple, 1 setback, 1 boost. And you have a light side point, should you want to burn that.
I'm feeling confident. I got help.
Okay, look at that. Setback had nothing to do with it. Marcus was able to, or Roxy was able to help you. You succeeded. Okay, so that's going to take you another 24 hours, but you half that, right? Because your talent.
Yes.
Okay, so 24 hours, that'd be 12 hours. Wow. Power trip takes you all 32 hours because of your cajoling and because of your fancy footwork. Imagine, oh, wait a minute. Sorry. Times 2. 64 hours. Class 2 hyperdrive.
By the way, was it the level times 5 to level up a career skill?
I believe so. Have to double check. But I believe so.
Yeah. Sorry, I just looked it up.
That's fine. Roxy, natural healing. I'm going to say 3 points of natural healing without the trip. So you can reduce your wound by 3. That's really why I was calculating.
Do I get any strain?
A strain? All your
Released?
strain would wipe out on the trip in 3 days. You recover strain, all your strain every night anyway, regardless. So no one would have any strain.
Just checking.
Yep, that's fine. And that would have you arriving at Chogana.
Oh, I can already tell I'm gonna rust.
He just says, I'm going to rust. This is not good. Okay, let me get through. Granted, you're still in space at this point. This is just a map. As the star line fades to real space, the sensor systems immediately goes haywire. Lights start flashing, malfunction alarms start going off. As you glance at the systems, show system is jammed, your systems are either jammed or they're being overwhelmed by something. Looking outside, you see the toy star system. It's a dim, hazy disk. You can't make out any stars, and you don't immediately see the planet either. You know you're close, but you don't see the planet. Your sensors are effectively blinded. How are you reacting there, Eatram? You're in the pilot chair.
Oh, Eatram's plenty fine. Pilot, a little cloud mist won't get in his way.
But you can't. Your sensors are. You're seeing nothing on sensors, and you can't see either.
All right, so we'll do the equivalent of dropping a coin down a well, and I will fire some blasters.
Okay.
And I'll try and see if I hear it bounce off anything, and
Okay.
if I don't, we'll go down.
So you reach out and
That's
trigger.
how you avoid mountains, everybody.
Yeah. Reach out and you trigger the blasters. You hear and feel the blasters through the ship fire out. You see the bright sparks of light coming out on either side of the ship because your blasters are side mounted as they fire. And you realize, make a perception check. Perception? I think we do. I'm going to drag you guys on.
Can I help?
Yeah, you can.
Since I'm
Yeah, assume your guys are all in the cockpit, so.
yeah.
Yeah, make a
Or do I
perception
just-
check there, Yitram.
Okay.
One difficulty. No setback,
One
just a
difficulty.
one difficulty.
All right. Is it just me making this roll?
I think Roxy said that she's helping you.
Well, I don't
Or
know if
do I-
you're gonna get a roll from each of us, or if I had a boost.
Oh no, I give you a boost. If
Okay.
Roxy's helping. Yeah, you've seen this before, Yitram. Apparently, Chogana is inside of a nebula. You're going to have to adjust the computer systems on the Rancor to allow you to see through the crap that's out there. You're in a huge ass dust cloud. All it would take would be some fiddling with the computer or someone adjusting the computer until the sensors resolve themselves to where you can see something.
Oh, well, that's a lot simpler than using echolocating blasters. If somebody wouldn't mind making those changes, will it keep us from crashing?
Yes. What were the changes again? Sorry.
It'd be a computer check. It'd be a hard computer check.
Oh, that's not me then. I thought it was something mechanical.
No.
Say,
cracks of fingers.
Yeah.
I've
Roxy,
done
Thank
this
you.
before.
so it'd be 3 purples. Roxy.
3 purples. Okay.
Oh wow. Okay. That's what advantages of triumph.
Oh. But I can re-roll.
Oh.
See, I feel like that is so excessively rude.
Oh wow, you failed. I'm sorry, I didn't. I assumed you succeeded. Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
one
'Cause you
failure,
actually-
3 advantage, 1 triumph.
Yeah, I see that, but you got a triumph there. Hold on a second here. I'm reading through my notes here.
I think
Success-
triumphs can cancel out
your
threat
your
or
triumphs,
something.
well, your triumphs count as successes, but you still failed. But let me see. I've got notes here. Triumph. What's the failures? Okay. So you start busily adjusting sensors and sort of thing, and then all of a sudden, the canopy on the Monarch, not the Monarch, on the Rancor, is photosensitive glass. It's designed, to dim and brighten so that you don't get blinded by stars too close. Suddenly, the photosensitive glass goes opaque. You can't see anything, Yitram, outside the cockpit. All you have is the sensors now to see with, and those are nothing but a jumbled mess of garbage.
Well, that is
by the
less
way,
than optimal.
I did say I do have the ability to re-roll.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. And
Yeah, and that's only
I was waiting on
once.
that roll. Same roll's the same. Only going to give you
Oh,
a
yeah.
setback on top of it just because of the situation. Now you're a little stressed trying to make it look right.
Eh. I wasn't wet.
It'd be
Okay.
three purples with a setback, 1 black.
Just gonna check if I've got any other abilities that make this easier in the talents. No. Bugger. Oh well. Here we go.
Okay. Oh my god.
Mm.
Eacham, on the dash panel, proximity alarms start going off. And there is a very violent and hard thump felt through the hall and reverberates into the cockpit.
We just got this fixed.
Shock is shaking his head and digging through his tools in preparation for having to fix something if we can make it down.
So yeah, Eatram's gonna check the diagnostics panel. Does it seem like we're crippled, or
According to the diagnostics panel, I mean, everything's on the fritz, so to speak. But according to the diagnostics panel, it seems like something struck the hull somewhere in the vicinity of the equivalent of your right hand mandible, over where that locked passenger cabin is, Eatram?
oh, that's no good.
Wait, what? What just happened?
Nothing to concern yourself with.
Those are not reassuring words.
Roxy, you can remake that, make another roll. I mean, you can keep rolling here until you finally get these sensors cleared up. But I'm tracking what's going on. Each time you fail, it's adding additional setback, unless you want to get someone to help you.
Oh, I thought I had the special roll where it's just like a normal re-roll.
Oh, that's right, you do. So go ahead and re-roll it. No setback.
Yeah,
To compensate
that's
for the
why
one
I was
just did.
confused.
I'm sorry, I forgot about that. I mean, you told me that it just didn't register. So give me
Yeah,
give me a normal roll. Just for this will be still your third roll because it works in great story because it advances some things here.
Oh god.
Oh my god.
Nah.
Stop.
Nah.
Stop.
There's another thump from the hull, on the hold. Shock, you're where are you at in the ship?
That's a great question.
Actually, let me do
Probably attached to the ceiling at this point.
Yeah.
Actually, let's do this.
I'm sure with these guys at the helm, I'm probably strapped in tight with as many straps as I can
Okay,
fit
so
around
what
me.
I did, I just moved this to the ship's map.
Okay.
I don't do that. Would you
I really,
position?
I don't know where he would normally be during transit, or during a atmosphere landing, so
Okay.
can't say.
Yeah. So drag your token to wherever you think you would be at. Is the device tokens on here? Yeah. I see Eatram in the cockpit, Roxy in the cockpit. That makes sense because they're trying to fix things. Well, I don't know where Shock is at. I don't know where the new droid is at.
Where would
I
I mean?
think I'm also
Shock
gonna stop flying forward and just hover.
Okay, so you
I
pull the
don't know why I kept going forward.
Okay, so give me a
Put on the parking brake.
an average piloting check there, Eatram, just to bring yourself into what you think is a full stop, because your sensors aren't working. So
See, let's just
Okay.
hover for a bit.
you all hear the roar of the engines fade slightly. I see Shock moving through the ship.
Yeah, I can't seem to get through the doorways. How does that work again?
You just went through.
Oh, good. There it goes.
Oh.
Okay.
I think sometimes they're locked, or if you go through at a weird angle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotcha. Okay. He's heading up to the cockpit, wanting to know what the hell's going on.
Okay. Yeah. So an angry Wookiee comes in the back as you're furiously rolling. Roxy, are you still trying to fix these sensors?
Yeah.
Okay.
How bad is it this time?
Same as before, only with one setback. So 3 purple, 1 setback right now. That's to compensate for the fact that I screwed your roll up at one time. Finally.
Oh my god.
Finally. So, and I'm going to tell it from Yeatram's point of view. Yeatram, the opaque cockpit goes clear, like it should be, right? Your sensors all come back online. The holographic overlay for your cockpit that you have rigged up identifies the problem. You're in the middle of a bunch of rocks. They're about the size of the ship.
It would have been very good to have been able to see these.
You can make you need now to get clear of them is a hard piloting check. 3 purple.
Would blowing them up
That's an
help
option.
out any?
That's an option, but you don't know how many there are because of the haze of the nebula. Even though you can see now, you don't know how far these extend. You could be in an asteroid belt, or you could just be in a cluster of floating rocks.
All right. I'm gonna. Are our shields on right now? I
Yes.
feel like our shields should be on right now.
I assume that you, after the first hit, you would have probably turned them on.
Yeah, let's make sure those are on.
Okay.
And let's. You said a hard check.
3 purple.
All right.
Okay. At least the pilot
we go.
knows how to work his controls.
Yeah, when you can see.
Let's see. So you definitely maneuver the ship around the rocks, and for a second, poor Shock comes in the door just as the cockpit canopy clears, and even though there's gravity compensators on the Monarch, well, I can say the Monarch because it's on the Rancor, the quick maneuver that Eitrim has to make to dodge that rock is faster than the compensators can take place. So you, from your point of view, Shock, the whole floor feels like it just goes out from underneath you. And just for a second, you feel like you're going to fall. You reach out and you grab the wall there beside you to hang on to it. And then Eitrim banks the ship back around, flips it, does a kick turn, and drives below the rock, and then he's out into clear space. It appears it was just a small pod of asteroids or meteoroids out there, not a full-fledged asteroid belt. However, what you still can't see, though, is even though you came out in the Chogana system and in the Choi Nebula, which the Chogana system's in the middle of the nebula, you all didn't research that before you left, you still don't quite see the planet. But you do have though it's old, an outdated system map. A little bit of work on the computer, and you could determine where the planet should be at this point. And
IT3PO has no knowledge of any of this stuff?
Nope. IT's never been here. Which that reminds me, I should be adding IT to your sheet. Or to your ship, right?
Yeah, what the droid that was up here, that's the one we bought last time, or
Yep.
that Roxy bought?
Yep, that's the droid Roxy bought.
Right. And what is that droid doing for us?
Right now, it's just in the
Not
engine room
much.
holding on for dear life.
Gotcha. I know it needed some kind of upgrades or repairs.
Yeah, it needs a
I'm not
bunch of work
mistaken.
done to it.
Okay.
Yeah, he's just. It was so he could have something to astrogate and repair if we were busy.
Right.
So, if someone wants to make an average computer check, 2 purple, you can get a complete scan run of the system, match it to the old map, and determine where the planet is in this jumbled soup that is the Choi Nebula. Yeah.
Finally.
So, yeah, finally. So you kick some things up, kick stuff up in there, and then your navigational hologram updates Eitrim, and you have coordinates for the planet, and you start moving the Rabid Rancor toward the planet. As you approach Chogana, the first thing that you see, or well, I should say don't see, is there's no ship in orbit.
To be expected.
The last message on the message pod indicated that it was in orbit above Chogana, but based on the other information on it, you probably assumed that it was crashing. So it's not there. However, there's nothing else in orbit above Chogana either. I'll switch back to Chogana's map now.
Did you say? Sorry, you said we we do have evidence it crashed, or
You suspected based on the
oh,
information.
we suspect it. But we'd have to like go into orbit and then scan the surface or something. And okay.
Yeah. So the issue you have at this point, and Shock hits it around the nose. Obviously, it's not in orbit, and it'd be kind of hard to miss a ship the size of the one that you're looking for. It should be very visible in orbit, especially the sensors. So if it's not in orbit, that means it's somewhere on the planet, and that means you're going to have to locate it.
So yeah, this seems like it would have already been done, but can I go ahead and scan for a distress beacon or anything of the like?
You sure can.
Figure there might be a chance they're putting something out.
Yep. Give me a average computer check to run through the sensor information to see what you find.
You got it, boss.
Yep. So you go through the sensor bands, and just so you guys know, this is the kind of ship you're looking for. Just dropped it on the map for you.
So beautiful. Well, my favorite ship in Star Wars.
So you're not seeing anything or finding any kind of signals coming from anywhere on the planet there, Ytram. So
What kind of scanning capability do we have? Like, can we detect a crash site from orbit?
okay, so there's the rub. And Shock in the cockpit is asking this question. Okay, what kind of capabilities does the Monarch have for this? Well, the Rapid Monarch is a freighter. It's not a rescue vessel. It has standard navigational sensors and things like that. Now you could upgrade it, but obviously you haven't done that yet. So you could scan for it, but it's going to take time. You need to basically fly low enough and fly across the planet in a search pattern to begin to locate this vessel or something related to this vessel.
But we were led to believe that the beacon would guide us in, right? By our
that's what Riam hoped. He hoped when you got here there'd be a beacon, but you're not hearing any beacon, so the job just got harder. Is what it amounts to.
Gotcha.
So basically, what it would amount to, your ship's sensors can scan a quarter of the hemisphere of the planet each time at a time. They're not great, but you can scan 1/4 of one. Okay, how many times can I say it the same way? 1/4 of the planet at a time. So 4 scans in orbits would allow you to scan the whole ship, but each scan is going to take about 5 hours to conduct. So one roll is 5 hours worth of scanning. It's going to be an average computer check to make that scan.
We really have no choice, though, right? Because we have no inkling where.
Yeah, you have no idea on this planet where the ship may have gone down at.
I mean,
so basically, what Jason's saying is make a roll, and he's going to, roll a d4, and we're gonna see where we land on the d4.
Actually, no. In D&D, that's exactly what I'd do. But unfortunately, here, no. The dice are going to tell me what you find.
well,
The dice, whether we have triumphs, successes, advantages, etc.
And what you all can't see, and for some people can't see in the recording either because I have a separate document, I actually have a list of, depending on this is what happens.
Gotcha. Well, I guess it's up to Roxy to do some computer magic.
Yeah, while Roxy does that, can I turn off all of our other outbound sensors and anything that other people would be able to pick up just because I'm a little paranoid?
Okay, so you want to reduce your you can.
Just in case there's someone following us in a matte black ship.
In this nebula,
it
would need to be matte black.
No transponders.
Yep.
So yeah, did everybody turn on airplane mode?
So you should start busying yourself shutting down stuff.
I'm gonna get my droid in to help me out, so I can add a boost die.
Okay. Yeah. So
if that's all right.
Yeah, you're fine. The droid comes rolling in. It has a little bit of trouble getting up the stairs, outside the cockpit because there's literally stairs outside your cockpit. But it maneuvers them, no problem. Takes a little bit longer than you'd expect, but it does get there.
Shock kind of sniffs his nose and rumbles a little something, and his translator droid says, "Does anyone smell that? It's like burning wires."
It's just a bit toasty. How much difficulty, by the way?
Difficulty is 2 purple.
2 purple.
Yep.
Right, and I can
And
add
then
a
then
boost.
a boost from the droid helping you. Oh,
Look at
look
that.
at that with 4
threat.
successes. Wow.
1 threat though. So
Okay.
what is the threat?
So the check is reduced by 1 hour for each additional success. So it'd be 5 hours down to an hour to scan that hemisphere. And increase an hour for each threat. So back to 2 hours. And pause results check. Okay. So what should have taken you 5 hours, you managed to get done in 2 hours thanks to the droid's help and your technical wizardry there. You identify at least a half a dozen potential debris field areas on that hemisphere. Spread over a distance of about 100 kilometers.
How long would it take for us to fly our shuttle down and investigate from the air each of the sites to look for obvious signs that it's a ship?
Wouldn't take that long at all if the shuttle was fully functional. Someone dinged
What's
it
up
up.
with our shuttle? We
Someone
have a shuttle
dinged it.
problem?
Someone dinged it up.
You remember how our shuttle's kind of
yeah. Just when we were saving the hut.
borked? Well, can we not just fly over it in the Rancor?
Yeah, you can fly with the Riker.
Okay.
That's no problem. Okay, so
I mean, since we're looking for a giant ship, I would imagine
Yeah.
we don't have to get too close to the ground.
See, I'm still thinking like, a ship that is made to go through space doesn't enter atmosphere ever. But yeah, but that's not really how Star Wars works. So.
no, it's not. In fact, someone actually pointed out in the way Star Wars ships behave, both in the movies and the novels and all the shows, they behave more like sailing ships that have the ability to move through like a submarine more than a flying vessel.
Yeah, I
'Cause
really
actually-
like how they handle ship movement in The Expanse. Have you watched that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't watched it,
more
but I've
realistic.
seen clips of it.
I'd say
Yeah, it's a good
Star
show.
Wars ships are also kind of like blimps.
Yeah. Actually, when you read the novelization, they talk about ships having an ethereal rudder. So I always kind of think of it along the lines of maybe the atmosphere or the ether that is there in the Star Wars universe is thicker than our universe. So they have some kind of, not a physical rudder, but some kind of electronic rudder that guides the ship and moves the ship. Okay, so you said you identify about a dozen sites in that area, in that hemisphere that could be potential targets. It'd take you about, and see, that took you 2 hours. Let me get a calculator going here just so I can track how long it takes you so you know. So it took you 2 hours to identify them. You can either go check those sites out or you can go ahead and scan the next hemisphere if you want. It'll take you about, I'm going to say, a half hour to an hour to fly down and check each site. So it's up to you how you want to proceed there. Okay, and this is where you learn that your game master used to work in search and rescue.
Yes.
Search patterns are second nature to me.
I mean,
Well,
it really depends on the pilot.
To me, it makes sense to clear one quarter of a hemisphere.
Okay.
Before we go to the next, but because right now we only know we have 6 potential sites in this quarter hemisphere or half of a hemisphere, I guess.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and I'm guessing we can't do both at the same time. Which
you could scan each one, scan the whole planet, which would take you potentially another 15 hours, depending on how well.
But then we
Roxy
still
does.
haven't crossed any sites off the list, though. We just know
right.
they're there.
You have to go back then and say, okay, now we have X number of sites. You have to go back to the sites till you find something.
Yeah. How much time does it take us to get in and out of orbit?
It only takes you honestly about 10 to 20 minutes to get out of orbit, but to go down and get close enough and do a visual check is going to take you about a half hour to an hour for each one of these sites to fly a pattern across this and see what you're seeing.
So we're looking at 3 to 6 hours to check out the sites we've already identified.
Right.
Hmm.
And I presume that there'll be some role involved in determining whether we get lucky and find it right
Oh
away.
yeah. Oh yeah.
So we're really just kind of playing the odds that we can
Yeah.
hit it on our first try.
Yeah. What's the
Each
cool
room
rule?
feels. Each room was trying to get a gauge on how he feels about his own luck, and he's
Okay.
feeling pretty lucky. So he's gonna drop into atmosphere.
Okay. So the Rancor makes a beautiful swoop and drops down into the atmosphere as you start moving toward the first site. You fly over the first site. Okay. You fly over that first site after about 20, 30 minutes looking at the undergrowth, the growth, the mountains, the things like that. You're not seeing anything there. You move into it's about the third site. Yeatram's still feeling good about this. He still thinks we're in the right hemisphere. You fly over a largish, well, you come up, Yeatram is flying over a river valley. And suddenly, the river valley just ahead, you can see a lake. And it looks like that the lake itself has been, or the river has been dammed at one end to create this lake. As he flies over this, you can see the structure, the dam there in it, and you begin looking around. And you realize, give me a average computer check from somebody.
Roxy, you're up.
Little boost.
Okay,
Oh, thank God.
Triumph. I love it.
I love it too. So as you're flying over, and you start, look at this, and Yeatram, for you, the dam looks out of place. It doesn't look right for a world that's basically undeveloped at this point, as far as you can tell. Why is there a dam here? That's what's going through your electronic synapses. At the same time this is going through your synapses, ting, 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 you start receiving an emergency locator transmitter beacon.
I knew I was feeling lucky.
Coming from the dam, I presume.
Not from the dam, but not too far from the dam. Now, the river valley spans out, and of course, it creates this lake, a rough shoreline. And to give the player Marty an idea, it's a lake like Summersville Lake, Marty, where they've dammed a river. Okay.
Okay.
You guys got to understand, in West Virginia, we have only one naturally occurring lake, and it's about the size of a cow pond. All the rest of our lakes are man-made. I knew he would understand what I'm talking about when I say that. There's several places around the edge of the lake where there's high enough ground that you could probably put the Minot down. There's one not too far from this transmitter beacon that you're hearing.
If we had to guess from the beacon, is it submerged?
It's not submerged. It's probably about a quarter of a mile west of the lake in the jungle. But they said there's near the edge of the lake, there's a wide enough, clear enough area that you could set the ship down there, and then you could have to hike, into the jungle to get to this escape pod. Or whatever's making this beacon.
The beacon is not providing any
All it's doing
coded
is
information.
No, it's just providing that it's a emergency locating it's on the standard emergency locating transmitter codes. With that success and the triumph that Roxy made, and because Roxy knew a little about the it's on the right frequency, Roxy, to have been a separatist beacon.
It sounds right.
Yeah.
And it's a very weak signal. Like it's maybe the antenna is partially obscured by ground cover, or it's really, really old. Been going for a
Could
while.
be snapped.
Could be snapped. Yep.
I'm going to assume that flying over this location, we can't see through the trees.
I don't know. Can you?
Well, let's find out.
Okay.
We found a good place to put down if we need to.
Okay. So
Let's see if we can get a positive visual.
So you bring in, and between you and Roxy coordinating back and forth. Okay, a little bit left, a little bit right, a little bit left, and you bring the ship to a hover, somewhat near, to where you should be able to see where it's at. Give me a hard perception check from anybody in the cockpit looking out the windows. That'd be 3 purple. To see if you can see anything. Okay, Yitram doesn't see anything.
So yet to be expected with only a single die.
Remember, you have light side points. Shock doesn't see anything. Roxy doesn't see anything. So the ground the tree cover's too thick. Now you also don't see like any You also don't see any like breakage of tree limbs or anything like that, but it is a jungle planet, so stuff could grow back pretty quick. The signal, it's very obvious though from the sensor readings, the signal's below you. Whatever it is down there. It's just you're not seeing it through all the tree cover. But there could be 2 or 3 canopies here. It's a jungle.
See, how much rope do we have?
Yeah.
Idle
Shock-
curiosity. Can we go
Shock
fishing
is
with?
Shock is willing to rappel down there and check it out. I mean, tree canopies. It sounds like home.
Okay.
A quarter mile is a long way to walk.
I don't know how much rope you individually have, but keep in mind that is what light side points can be spent for.
I have another idea, gents. And in my hand, I've got this little ball thing. It's my recon remote.
Oh,
That's funny. I had
nice.
just put in my player notes that I wanted to look into getting one of those.
Okay.
Yeah,
Great idea.
I bought so much stuff for salvaging.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. I remember you buying that too. Okay. So you're going to release your remote there, Roxy?
Yep. Go up to the ramp, lower it, and then just let it fly it out.
Toss it out. Okay, so you toss it out.
Yeah.
Give me a, I'm going to call it a computer check because you're through things. Now, refresh my memory on the recon remote. Well, I just pulled it up because it was your sheet. Equipment. I remember you buying that now. Might come in really handy here. Recon remote. Small spherical remote, miniaturized pulsar lift, full 360, remote size of a Shura fruit, size of an orange. Travel speed 20 kilometers per hour. Controlling it module input or remote simultaneously. Okay. So you kick the remote out the lock and you give instructions, where to go look, and you're back on at the controls there on the Rancor's deck. Nudging.
Yeah, imagine it comes with like a little remote thing.
Yeah, it does. But
Like
but being you've attached that remote to the panels on the Minot to give yourself a better control panel to work with and a better screen to look at.
Ah.
So you've reattached it and you're sitting here going down through there. So you see it descend down through the canopy. And first it goes to kind of gloom, but then this remote adjusts its sensors to where it can see better in the gloom. And you realize, yep, there's why you weren't seeing anything, because in fact it's a double or maybe, and it drops a little bit lower. No, it's a triple canopy in here. So it finally drops down close enough to the ground, getting closer and closer, and you're using it to zoom in on that ping from that thing that you're picking up, and it get closer and closer, and finally it descends into a crevasse. It's almost a tight V-shaped crevasse. You're watching it, and you're looking at, gosh, it's getting pretty low down in there, much further down than you thought it would be through that canopy. Nowhere to worry about range or things. You're just looking at the distance from the ship there, as Ytram has a ship hovering over there. And you spot on the camera and the sensor, and it outlines it and pops it up into information. You see a rusted, half buried in the dirt object of metal, kind of roundish in shape. Definitely looks like the back end of an escape pod.
What do you see down there?
It's an escape pod. Well, it
Give me
definitely didn't help anyone escape.
Give me a perception check there on your screens there, Roxy. Average, just 2 purple.
Does Shock want to huddle in and make his own perception check, just
Sure.
looking over my shoulder?
He sure can. He sure can.
Yeah, I'll do that.
If he wants to. I'm just
Figure-
thinking.
Yeah, I figure Ytram's a little bit too busy, keeping the ship as steady as he can.
So yeah, don't text and drive.
Roxy didn't see anything otherwise in the escape pod.
And that's 2 difficulty.
Yeah, 2 purple.
So that's average. Yeah.
Yep. Yep, it definitely appears to be an escape pod. You do pick out, let's see, Roxy. It does look like you get the drone closer, or your remote closer, but it's so dim and dark, and it's having trouble, adjusting to the level of light in there. It looks like the door may be open on it, like, and I don't mean like it was. It looks like the door's off of it, like someone maybe survived, but you're not sure.
Well,
Alright.
if he survived, that's pretty shitty.
Either that, or we got a Riddick situation on our hands, and he's been surviving here for who knows how long.
Really
There
lovely.
could be a jungle badass poking around somewhere.
Make a average make it a hard computer check there, Roxy.
Hardest free, right?
Yes, 3. Sorry. Okay. You're thinking about it, and you go, you know what? There's still power in the pod. Looks like the door's off of it. There may be information there in the pod that can give you the last trajectory that the Salinora was on when that pod ejected. And you're pulling that out of your knowledge of computer systems, and then some of the knowledge you have about older computer systems, because Roxy was intrigued about this ship in the past. So you're thinking there may be a way that if you could get the information on that pod's drives, you might be able to extrapolate which one of these other sites that you have are more important to you.
Is there any way I can link, like, piggyback the signal using my slicing tools?
Not without getting direct contact with the pod itself. You can get the
Yeah.
information off, yes, but you're going to have to go down there to do it. the drone doesn't have what you need to be able to access it.
I'm
The
gonna
droid
need to
mo-
go down there.
The droid
if
might,
we want.
but again, you gotta get the droid
Mo-
down there.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to get down there and get into that thing if we want anything useful from that.
All right, so am I putting us down, Raxi?
I mean, how long will it take us to walk here from there?
I mean, I fly us back. How quick can you move a quarter mile through the jungle?
I don't know.
Well, I guess we'll go find out. Will it help us?
More than likely. Maybe.
Well, let's go put her down then, but I'll be the first one to say I don't trust that damn dam.
Oh, that was a nice one.
So it takes a little bit for Roxy to retrieve the remote back to the ship before you can leave. No more than 5 minutes, but you gotta pull it back out of where you're at, and that's where it's at, and back through both canopies carefully so you don't damage it and get it back to the ship. Get it back to the ship, and you swoop back around toward the lake. As you come around toward the lake, how are you flying? Are you flying like over the dam, or how are you approaching this landing site, Eatrim?
I want to circle around so the nose is pointed towards the water.
Okay. Are you gonna? Okay, so you come out of the jungle, you circle around, and as you circle, are you coming close to that dam at all? I'm trying to determine if you're within visual range of the dam. So I'm trying to determine.
I mean, I would assume
Okay.
so.
Okay, that's kind of that's what I thought too. I just want to make sure that I was right. Okay, so anybody in the cockpit, which is all 3 of you, make a perception check. 3 purple.
Oh,
Hard.
God, this is a lot of perception checks, and I've only got 1 dice for perception. And let me just say, I'm not the biggest fan.
When you guys figure it out, you'll know why I'm having you do this. Okay, I've got 2 failures. Shock and Eatrim waiting on Roxy's to come.
I am absolutely ready for a flash flood that takes the ship with it.
Well, the dam is downstream from where you're landing, so it wouldn't flash flood you. There's Roxy's coming.
Either that or is the giant space beaver ready to kill us.
Roxy. As the ship comes around that dam, oh my God, you got picked up successes on 2. So the ship comes around that dam. You realize it's not a natural occurring dam. It's constructed. Someone built this dam. You can see rusted metal. The dam is
5
made
credits.
of
Oh,
metal.
go ahead.
Go ahead, Eatrim.
I was gonna say 5 credits says the dam's the ship.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I was thinking it was underneath the water behind it.
I mean, it made sense to me. It crashed right there in the river and dammed the river up and created the lake. The escape pod, I guess, launched separately on the way down, maybe landed nearby, but
How are we proceeding? You're gonna land
so
closer.
we're landing, right?
You're gonna land closer to the dam or closer to that escape pod? Because there's multiple places you could land the ship here, Eatrim. It'll take a little bit of work, but you could land it about anywhere here as long as you're careful. You could even land it on the dam if you wanted. It's big enough.
Not gonna do that, first off. Absolutely not. Also, Birch, I don't appreciate what you just put in the chat. Don't like that either.
It's a
Really?
possibility. This
Well,
thing was armed.
It's a possibility, yes, but not one I particularly want to think about right now.
For those that can't see our private Discord chat, they just put a picture of a Clone Wars tank in chat.
We might get
Um,
shot down.
Say, yeah. I figure we'll put down near the escape pod just to double check our suspicion that the dam is the
Okay.
ship.
So
And
you
I'll make sure when I get down there, I turn everything off because I'm still super paranoid that someone's following us and is tracking our ship.
okay. So you swoop around, come down, and you find a spot, there on the edge of the lake, and you bring the ship down. And as you notice that, there's the shore of the lake. And the trees only come out so far, but then the trees are hanging back. So you take the ship low enough, and you ease it back underneath the tree line somewhat, so that it's not fully exposed from above. You know what I'm saying? You kind of hide it as much as you can, and you set the
Yep.
the rabbit minot down again with its nose pointing out toward the lake, so that you can make a quick takeoff should the need arise. As the ship settles onto the ground, uh, the engines start winding down. First thing you all notice in the cockpit, you see each of them shutting off everything. Even the engines, he shuts them down to the absolute lowest power load that he can, so that he can still spin it up quick, but everything else is turned off. He's cutting out every emission he can on the ship.
So I guess Shock will be the first one at the door, itching to get out into the
Okay.
jungle.
So, Shock, while things are being shut down and wind down, Shock goes out to the main ramp, triggers the main ramp. There's a hiss and the whine as it drops down. Shock, you're from Kashyyyk. When the ramp opens up and the inner airlock door, because the way your all ship's set up, separates into the main area, so you feel this warm, moist air. You smell the vegetation. It smells like home to you. You hear the sounds of the creatures in the jungle. You hear the buzz of insects. You can smell the mud and the earth. It feels like home to you. It's not Kashyyyk, but it's pretty close. As you drop down the ramp and you look around, Eatram's done a wonderful job of hiding the ship. Probably only the nose of the ship is maybe sticking out enough in the open sky. You could probably drop a camo net of some kind on top of it to hide it if you needed to. The ground is solid. As you glance out to the lake, you see shapes moving just below the surface of the lake, some kind of wildlife, possibly.
Are they? What scale are these shapes?
Bigger than you, but not gigantic by any means.
Not
nothing-
something that's likely to crawl up onto the land and eat our ship or anything like that.
Not that you could tell from here, no. Just shapes moving in the water. You can tell there's life in the water.
And did we decide we're going to go for the beacon first, or we're going to inspect the dam first?
It's gonna run my recon remote around it.
Around the dam?
The dam?
Okay.
Yeah, round the dam, maybe over the lake.
Okay.
I
So-
imagine it's not waterproof because
Yeah.
I'd like to look in the lake.
So,
While Roxy's doing that, I think Shock would patrol the perimeter.
Okay.
Try to keep an eye on the local wildlife and or any
assess the landing
shipwrecked.
spot, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll deal with what Roxy sees first, and then we'll come
Okay.
back to what Shock sees. So we'll kind of get a feel for what Shock's doing, what it feels like out there. At some point, IT3PO has wandered onto the bridge, onto the flight deck, and is just kind of standing there watching as you guys go on. He's been rather prim and proper, not quite C3PO style proper, but very prim. As you start flying the remote around, you do a pass over the lake, and you can see the shapes that Shock saw in the lake. They seem to be some kind of large aquatic creature swimming in the lake. Looks like it's possibly feeding. And when you stop at one point point. You kind of rotate the out in the middle around, and you see more of the shapes above the water, but way, way far off in the lake in the distance. As you rotate it around, you move the remote down toward the dam. And as you come into the dam, of course, on the side you're on, the lake side of the dam, the water comes up to it, and the water is actually spilling over the dam, going down the back side, and running down in a couple places, and it creates like waterfalls or cascades on the back side. As the remote stops and pauses, and you do a scan of it, you notice that the dam itself on this side appears to be flat, and you can see that it's made of metal. But on the back side, it appears to be rounded, and the water, where it cascades over, kind of runs down the metal slope and then drops over. You, on a whim, you pull the remote to the back side, rotate it, and start scanning down, and you can see the structure of the dam. You can see I-beams and girders and plates. Give me a perception check with a bonus this time. Two purple.
Yeah, from this verbal description, it sounds an awful lot like the ship on its side.
Mm-hmm.
So, on a whim, you flip over Roxy, and you have it run a tighter analysis of it, and scan it, and you have the ship's computer trace the outline that you're seeing, and you futz with it a couple times, adjusting, moving the line to the right places where the drone wasn't quite as accurate as you can be, and you run another analysis, and it pops up. Yep. What you're looking at is the aft section of a banking plan frigate. The engine section, turned on its side.
Looks like luck was with us then.
Hey, I'm just saying that cool roll really saved us. If I would have failed, I would have taken us to another quadrant.
Now, to be clear, it's only the aft section. Who just zoomed in there, but it was so appropriate on my screen that it zoomed into the image of the ship. It's only the back section from the wing, this vertical stabilizer's back, that appear to be there.
Well, then, using Eatrim's knowledge of ships, or maybe even like our database, where would the storage section of this type of ship be?
In the front.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
The back would have been the engine drive.
I knew it was too easy. I knew it was too easy.
But if we've got we know which way it was pointing if we just find the engines. So we know which way it's pointing, and we just follow along that trajectory, right?
Do we still want to check the escape pod? And if we have two, we can like resection it. Maybe it'll help us narrow down even more.
Yeah.
Sure.
You could do a quick and dirty trajectory of the other 5 sites that we saw from orbit and see if any of them would naturally fall along the flight path that we're seeing right now, I guess.
I mean, hopefully it didn't break up in half as it was coming down or in orbit.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about.
Yeah.
But let's find the escape pod then.
Yeah, let's go get that, and I think we'll be in a good place to figure out where we're going.
All right. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
By the way, I don't have enough pockets for all these ion grenades. Do you guys want a couple?
What are they?
Ion grenades.
Oh, yes. Yes,
I would
please.
love to, but if one of those were to go off in my pocket, I do worry about what would happen.
Okay. I've
So I will have to decline.
Shock looks at them quite curiously. Yeah, he's definitely up for explosives.
I palm you two
Okay.
because that's how much I'm over the threshold of encumbrance.
By 2 ion grenades.
Yeah.
How do I add those? Do I just
I'll add them for you. Hold on.
you'll
Give me a
add them
sec.
for me? Okay,
Yeah, give
great.
me a sec. I'll pull them up, madam. And this would be a good place for us to stop as the ship goes down. You guys are getting ready to gear up to go out looking for this escape pod. Now that you've determined that the dam is not so much a dam as it is the ass end of a starship blocking the river,